Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy College Football Saturday to everybody. Glad you all could join me. This almost did not happen because I almost was not going to do. I told everybody before I probably was not going to do a stream for this game because it's on at the same time as Clemson's playing. But everybody wanted me to do this game. Luckily, Clemson is playing against Charlotte, and they're already up 14-0 or 13-0 in 5 minutes in the game. So I'm not really missing anything. I'm recording the game. I'll watch it later. But the game tonight should be really good. Before I get started and talk to see who's in here, of course, this video and every video is sponsored by BetNow for the rest of the season. Go in the description of this video. Click that BetNow link. Deposit some money. Use the promo code PEETE, P-E-E-T-E, all caps. And they'll give you a bonus on your deposit. And they'll be donating a portion of money at the end of the season to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Speaking of the BetNow picks, so I did my BetNow video. What was that? I did it on Tuesday, I think. Anyway, as of right now, I picked 6 games for this week. As of right now, I've won 3 and lost 2. The only one that hasn't been done yet is Texas. I took Texas -5 against Oklahoma State, so we'll see. I'll either end up 4-2 or 3-3, depending on what happens with Texas. The teams that let me down were the SEC teams, man. Kentucky let me down. And, of course, I don't know what I was thinking betting on South Carolina. How foolish was I to do that? Anyway, I knew they would lose the game. I figured they'd lose the game, but I didn't think they'd lose by that as much as they did. So thanks, South Carolina. It'll be the last time I ever bet on you, even for charity. All right, let's see who's in the chat here. This game's supposed to start at 8 o'clock, right? What time is it? 7:55. Coulter Gask. T. Davis, how you doing, sir? Christian Ballard, Notre Dame Dude 88. Comic Dude 45 in the house. Eli Sheets. Brian Denny Stadium. Yeah, I saw UCF lost to Pitt. And I was on Twitter. I tried to stay off of Twitter. Now, I was on Twitter a lot today for trolling Michigan because of that video I did yesterday about Michigan. And everything I said just came to fruition. Came true. So I was trolling Michigan pretty hard on Twitter today, but this guy on there, I don't know who he was. I've never seen the guy before. But anyway, he was all before the game talking trash, saying that UCF would blow out everybody they played in the ACC. The ACC is so terrible. UCF would be, they're right up there with Clemson as the top of the ACC, and then they go and lose to Pitt. So I thought that was funny. It's already started. I'm talking about the Notre Dame game. No, it hasn't started yet. What's up, Tiger Nation? How you doing, sir? Succeed with Seth. Yeah. Yeah, well, Clemson's schedule is pretty much over. Next week, they got North Carolina, which that's in Chapel Hill. I don't think that really matters, though. After that, I mean, I don't even know who's going to even be able to compete with Clemson. What time is it for me? I'm on the East Coast, so right now it's 7:53 p.m. Oh, all right. Yeah. So tonight, everybody thinks that Georgia's just going to blow Notre Dame off the map, right? I don't know about that. I did, as you can see, I don't really care who wins the game. I guess I'm loosely rooting for Notre Dame just for YouTube purposes because I think it would be funny to watch Georgia lose to Notre Dame at home after all the trash talking they've been doing. So I got my Always Irish podcast koozie here. Plus, if you guys have been watching me for a while, you know that I consider Notre Dame to be an ACC team. I don't care what they say. They're pretty much an ACC team, even though they don't admit it. Biggest result today, UCF versus Pitt, Michigan versus Wisconsin, or Auburn versus Texas A&M. I think the Pitt win over UCF is actually probably the biggest one. I expected Wisconsin to beat up on Michigan. That didn't surprise me at all. I even said in my video, the line was only 3.5. Wisconsin was favored by 3.5 points at home. I said if this were a touchdown or more, I'd still take Wisconsin. I mean, Michigan's just not very good. And this is what I've been trying to tell people about Michigan for the past 2 seasons, but even just this season, when they went to double overtime with Army, I was telling everybody, everyone's going, "Oh, Army's a good team. Army's a good team." No. Listen, Army had a struggle. I don't even know, did they win today? They were losing to some college I never even heard of. Army is good for their league, but there's no reason they should be competing with Michigan in Ann Arbor. Michigan is no good. I don't care who you play. You can just watch the teams play. Doesn't matter who they're playing. And just watch how the team executes. And Michigan does not execute. They're not. Last year they were really good on defense. This year they're terrible on defense. They're awful. And their offense isn't any better than it has been for the past 8 or 10 years or so. What was that? Let me go back up here. All right, they beat Morgan State. I know they were losing to them at one point of the game. I don't know what the final score was. And Army is a good team, but they shouldn't be on Michigan's. Michigan was ranked in the top 10 they shouldn't have been, but they were. I expect that Georgia's gonna. I actually think Georgia's gonna win pretty easily here, but I just want to see a competitive game. If I'm streaming the game, I don't want it to be 30-0 at halftime because that would be boring as hell. I'll just shut the stream off if that's the case. Bryant Denny Stadium says if Michigan loses to Ohio State, then Jim is out the door. That's the last game of the year, sir. Yeah, they're going to lose to Ohio State whenever that happens. But I'm talking about this guy might lose 2 or 3 more games between now and then. They're just not good. Oklahoma State's up 3-0 so far in Texas. Who do I have for the Georgia game? Well, I picked Georgia to win the game. I just hope it's close. That's all. I know the line in Vegas was like 14 points. Last time I saw it, it was 15.5 points. So everybody was putting their money on Georgia. The line kept going up, which is usually a red flag. Because the reason Vegas makes so much money and bookies make so much money is because usually the popular opinion when it comes to betting is the one that loses the bet. So I don't know. I think Georgia will win. Just a matter of by how much. But it would be funny and cool to see Notre Dame upset them. Unless you're a Georgia fan, of course. Don't fire Jim. Who does Michigan play next week? They must play. Who do they play? Rutgers? Is that right? So what if it means Ash stays? I want to see a big win. Michigan is a 10-win program historically. Yeah. They walk around beating their chest about being the winningest program in the history of football with the most wins, right? Well, if you look at when the vast majority of those wins they're talking about came, we're talking about like World War II and before. So, listen, they haven't won a legitimate national title in 70 years. 70 years. We all rag on Georgia for not winning the national title in the past 30 years. Michigan, they're going to tell me 1997 or whatever it was. No, they share a championship that year with somebody else. So if you're sharing a championship with somebody, I don't consider that to be a legitimate championship. There can only be one champion. Yeah, so 1948. There you go. All right, is this game starting yet? Oh, by the way, the beer I'm drinking tonight just so happens to be in a green can also. Not just a green koozie. Sweetwater 420, which is actually a Georgia beer from Atlanta. Trying to get these guys to sponsor the Friday night beer drinker call-in show. I think I'm going to get them too, hopefully. So holler at your boy, Sweetwater. How about them Hurricanes forever embarrassing themselves and their fan base is like, yeah, man. I mean, look, a win is a win is a win, but man, that was ugly. That was really ugly. What's up, Jamie? I agree, Josh Pinion. I mean, that's not a hot take or anything. I mean, yeah, Georgia's offensive line and running game is the reason they win almost every game that they do win. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I've been saying that the way to beat Georgia is to force Fromm to throw the ball. And I'm not saying that Fromm can't throw the ball. I just haven't seen him do it a lot. I don't know. Avery Fountain, I know you're trolling me, sir. I know you're trolling me when you're asking me that. So, what's up, Leon? How you doing? You guys licking your wounds. I know you won the game, but I know you guys are not happy with that performance that Miami put on. Please cover the Red River Showdown on October 12th. Coulter, I can't do that, and the reason is because I'm going to be in Clemson for Clemson versus Florida State on October 12th. So that's the 1 week I won't be streaming because I'll be at a game. I think I covered that last year. I did a stream for that last year. Yeah. Excuse me. Will the Gamecocks beat anyone? Well, I don't know. Oh, man, they're going to have a bad year, man. They really might not make a bowl game at this point. How far am I from Clemson? I'm exactly 3 hours away. So I'm in Charleston, which is right on the southeastern coast of South Carolina, and Clemson is in the northeastern corner, almost on the North Carolina border. So it's about 3 hours. Clemson 14-0 over Charlotte. Yeah. I'll keep switching back just to check the score, but I expect that Clemson's going to play all 90 of their dressed players tonight. Hell, they played all 90 of their dressed players week 1 against Georgia Tech. So, I mean, that's every player on the team. I'm surprised they didn't throw a helmet on the water boy and throw him out there for a couple of reps. What's up, Nick? Nick says, go Dogs. Woo! 55 minutes from Tuscaloosa. Yeah, I'm actually closer to Gamecock land where I am. Gamecock land is exactly halfway between here and Clemson. Of course, Columbia, South Carolina, it's smack dab right in the middle of the state. So, yeah, you got to cross through Columbia pretty much if you're going anywhere. Oregon up 7-3 on Stanford. Yeah, I almost bet that game on my picks, man. I think the line was like 11 points. I think Oregon's going to smash Stanford. Stanford's not good this year. They're really missing. They're really missing McCaffrey, but that was like 3 years ago. But who was the other one after him? I'm just drawing a blank. You guys know who I'm talking about. He was the Heisman favorite last year, and he got hurt early in the year, and they never heard from him again. I want to say he did get drafted somewhere in the NFL, but he's not playing, I don't think. SMU beat TCU 41-38. That's shocking. Yeah, Bryce Love, thank you. That's who I was thinking of. Old Dominion's leading Virginia 17-0. What? Oh my God. Is that you guys can't? That TV is not like super loud, is it? Too loud? I don't know, man. I'll tell you one thing. I haven't watched the past 2 weeks of Notre Dame football. I did watch the whole game week 1 when they played Louisville, and man, that was rough. They didn't look real good in that game. They were lucky to actually win that game. Yeah, I'm trying to go to that game, Eli. That game is in South Bend, and I want to go in the worst possible way. I'm planning on it right now. We're trying to save up for it, my wife and I, to go to that game. It's on my bucket list to go to a Notre Dame game anyway, but to go watch Clemson play there would be awesome. It's echoing in the stream. Is that right? Is that better? Tiger Nation. Yeah, I got this guy, John, from the Always Irish podcast. He told me he'd show me around. I guess he's in Chicago. I know Mrs. Peete wants to go to Chicago for a day or two before the game, and then we'll probably rent a car and drive down to South Bend and watch the game and stay there in that area that night, and then fly back the next day or something. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be so expensive. There's not a. I mean, that game. I bet we won't be able to get tickets for under $350 a piece. It's ridiculous, and that. I mean, that doesn't cost. That doesn't even cover the flight cost. The crazy hotel costs are going to be. They'll be gouging hotel prices, like they normally do. Yeah, dude, try to get up there. Not gonna be cheap though. George is fixing to have 4-leaf clovers for dinner. Yeah, it must be nice to have season tickets, dude. That'd be great. My plan is when I retire one day, if I ever do retire, I want to retire up in that area, in Clemson area. It's so beautiful up there. Lake Kiwi area, just outside of Clemson, man. That would be great. Our Anunaga, our Tigers are winning. Last I checked, it was 14-0. I don't know what it is now. Let me check. It's 17-0 now, and I think it's still the first quarter. Yeah, so 17-0. Josh, everybody asked me that. I've never told anybody what I do. I would not divulge my personal business on YouTube, sir. No offense. Hey, what's up, Garrett? How you doing, man? Tigers will kill UNC. I think so too. Part of me wishes I wasn't born with orange and green in my blood, so I could just be a bandwagon fan. No, it's better. It makes it better, Jamie, to not be because when your team does actually win again, because it's only a matter of time, right, before they win again, then it just makes it that much sweeter. Being a bandwagon fan can't be much fun. And there's no honor in that. I don't even see how that would be fun. So, yes, I help Bobby Durkins kill cats for a living. That's exactly what I do. I actually hold the cats down while he stabs them with a butter knife. Travis Etienne is scary. Yes, he is. Yeah, bandwagon is cheap. That's why I respect as much as I hate Gamecocks, I respect their fans because they've been terrible for 100 years. And so you got to give them guys credit, man. They stick with their team. They show up. They buy tickets to the games. They root on their team year after year of disappointment. So, listen, I respect that. I don't like the Gamecocks, but I respect their fans for being so loyal. It's got to be a miserable experience to be a fan of the Gamecocks. Hurts for Heisman. Yeah, I'd say Hurts, Tua, Jonathan Taylor today had over 200 yards. Hell, he even missed the entire second quarter and he still had over 200 yards. So yeah, there's probably 3 or 4 guys that could win the Heisman. Rutgers football has been tough to watch, but at least there's the band. Yeah, nobody can take that away from you. Yeah, absolutely. Avery Fountain says that Peete doesn't know anything. That's why Avery is here, to watch somebody who doesn't know anything. Makes a lot of sense. All right, looks like it's about to start. I'm looking for the green in the crowd. Yeah, he just likes to come in here. He likes to, look at the screen and see what he typed. It makes him feel cool. That's why I just let him do it. Yeah, Garrett, my Tigers are playing right now, actually. They're playing Charlotte, so. All right, here we go. So Georgia's kicking it off. And it looks like it's going to be a touchback. Good kick. So Notre Dame will take over. First, at their own 25 to see what they can do on offense here. Listen, I think if you're Notre Dame, you got to take advantage and score some points early, because I just don't know if they're one of those teams that's built to come back from behind. You don't want to get down 14 or 21 points and try to have to come back from that. So scoring a touchdown or two early would go a long way. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? All right, here we go. Ian Book from under center. Play action, rolls out to his right, complete. And he breaks one tackle, and he fights. Good play there. Picks up about 7 or 8 yards. It's going to be second and either 2 or 3. The 49ers putting together a good drive. Really? They are? That's surprising. All right, second and 3. And he pitches it off to the running back. He's going to sweep it around, and he's going to get the first down and more. He's fighting for more across the 40-yard line. Good run there, 1st and 10, Irish. Yeah, that was an ass whooping. Ohio State does not let off the gas. They just, if they were allowed to score 100, they'd score 100. Justin Fields had 6 touchdowns in 1 quarter. I think it was the second quarter. 6 touchdowns in 1 quarter. That's an Ohio State record. Hell, that might be an NCAA record for all I know. I've never heard of anybody scoring 6 touchdowns in 1 quarter before. Looks like we got a injured Georgia guy here. Defensive back. That's not good. Yeah. Yeah, UCF people, I mean, listen. UCF's a really good team, but they got humbled today. Running around acting like they can beat anybody in the Power 5. So, I mean, they got humbled. They got what was coming to them. It was only a matter of time before that happened. So it's just funny that it came to a lower level ACC team. That's who they lost to. What's up, Mark Cardy? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. But I already know that you are because you're here. Illinois is up 7-0 on the Cornhuskers. They are? Jeez. Yeah, somebody send a fake national championship trophy to Pitt. They earned it today. Or they can just steal UCF's fake national championship trophy. They can just mail it to them. What's up, Alex Deans? I didn't see you in here. How you doing? Will Pitt challenge Clemson? Well, we don't play Pitt. I mean, the only way that would happen is if Pitt won the Coastal and we played them in the ACC championship game. But we played them in the ACC championship game last year and destroyed them. Yeah, that was a while ago. They've been in what year was that they came in the ACC? 2010? Something like that. Yeah, it was when when West Virginia, when the Big East split up, West Virginia went to the Big 12, Pitt came to the ACC. Louisville joined the ACC. They were in the American Conference the year or two before that. So Duke looks all right compared to most ACC. Yeah, Duke they're a solid team. We don't play them this year either. So. Yes, that's true, Coulter. Believe me, I remember. But we did go to the national championship that year, so it wasn't that big of a deal. All right, 1st and 15. Ian Book back to pass, throws complete over the middle again. Good play across the 30-yard line. He's still going to be about 5 yards short. I guess they're going to give him forward progress here. And he'll be about 5 yards short of the first down. That's a big dude. It looks like a tight end. Yeah, tight end. I hate when these teams don't have names on the back of their jerseys because then I have to learn all these people's numbers. And I really don't feel like doing that for every team. All right, Book back to pass. Again, over the middle, complete. Big first down and more across the 45-yard line. Inside the 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Irish. Notre Dame is just killing them with their tight ends right now. That's like the 3rd or 4th reception on this drive from a tight end. All right, Ian Book back to pass again. Throws it deep to the right. And way overthrown. Incomplete, 2nd and 10. Yeah, former Clemson Tiger Kelly Bryant threw 1933. Yeah, I saw that. I was so pissed. I wanted to watch that game. I don't ever want to watch any South Carolina game. I wanted to watch the game just because they were playing Missouri. And it wasn't even on, and I live in South Carolina. That is so pitiful. Now, I guess if you had certain cable providers, you didn't get it, and mine was one of them. But there's no matter how bad the Gamecocks are year after year, they are always on TV. Every Clemson game's on TV in this state. Every South Carolina game is on TV in this state. I have never seen a South Carolina game that I cannot view living here. And it's not like I have cheap cable. I mean, our cable is like $400 a month. We get every channel you can get, except for the one it was on, I guess. So. All right, here we go. 3rd and 11. Book back to pass. Scrambles, throws it, incomplete. So a big stop there for the Bulldogs. It was on the SEC Network alternate channel, is what they called it. I only get one SEC network from my cable provider. So, anyway. But you should have seen the crap games they had on instead of that one, you know? All right, the punt is up. Calls for a fair catch. Fair caught around the 8-yard line. And then no flag. They're looking for a flag. So we'll get to see what Georgia looks like on offense here. Starting deep in their own territory. NC State 19-3 over Ball State. Yeah, I figured Missouri would beat South Carolina. That wasn't surprising to me at all. I thought that South Carolina would have been a little bit more competitive, though, and kept it a little bit closer. It wasn't even close. Good. Texas scored. I want Texas to win that game just for my contest. Yeah, Georgia relies on their running backs more than anything. Yeah, they do, but they do a really good job at running the ball. So, that's good news. Clemson's balanced. They're one of the most balanced teams in football. They run the ball 50% of the time. They pass the ball 50% of the time, which I like that. But Aaron Short says Fromm is going to torch Notre Dame. I really can't think of anybody that he's torched other than Oklahoma in the Rose Bowl a couple of years. But listen, Oklahoma had a terrible defense. I mean, when's the last time Fromm has torched a good defense through the air? I can't remember a time. Clemson scored again. What's up, Country Tiger? 24-0 Clemson. Yeah, you'll see a bunch of guys you've never even heard of before scoring touchdowns tonight for Clemson. They're going to play everybody. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Kirk Herbstreit boys in there catching passes from Trevor or catching passes from somebody. What's up, number one Voltard forever? All right, 1st and 10 from the 8, Georgia. Fromm back to pass. Throws it complete for a short gain, taken down immediately, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards. Just inside of 12 minutes left here in the first quarter. Second and 4 from the 15. From complete for first down and more. And he's going to pick up about 8 yards. 1st and 10, Bulldogs. The J.J. Holloman loss hurt Georgia bad. Yeah. So 2 plays and 2 passes so far. I expect to see a run here, and they do. And they give it to Swift up the middle, and he gets tripped up. He only picks up about 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. 17-7, Old Dominion over Virginia with 3 minutes left in the first half. Oh, my God. Virginia, I'm assuming they'll come back and win that game, I hope. They're supposed to be like the second or third best team in the ACC this year. Old Dominions, they beat Virginia Tech last year. Remember that? Yeah, North Carolina loses to App State. Yeah, the ACC's a mess. 2nd and 7. And he's going to dump it off to Swift. Swift makes a juke move, but he's taken down for a 3-yard loss. Good defensive play there by the Irish. The Irish are flying all around, man, on defense so far. Avery he control all he wants. He can, all he does is make himself look stupid. He's welcome to make himself look like an idiot. 3rd and 9. Taken down for another big loss, about a 4-yard loss. It's gonna be 4th and a mile. Notre Dame's defense played really well on that drive. They're putting Georgia's offensive line is supposed to be the best in the country, is what I'm hearing. And they're just getting penetration big time right now. If he got a hair, wouldn't he look weird with short hair after everyone's seen him with his long hair? He's gonna have to cut it. If he starts going bald, like he starts getting a hairline or getting a bald spot, he's gonna have to cut it. Otherwise, he can look like Hulk Hogan. He's have to put one of those do rags around his head. All right, 4th and 18. Oh, I thought it was about to be blocked punt there, but it got off. Terrible punt. He punted that off 35 yards out of bounds. So Notre Dame's going to take over in Georgia territory here. Clemson update. It's still 24-0. Clemson, it's 12 minutes left in the second quarter there. Yeah. Oh, good. Texas got an interception. Yeah, see, this is why they play the games. It's still early. A lot can still happen. But this is the reason they play the games, because 90% of America, hell, I even think that half of the Notre Dame fan base or more thought that they had no shot to compete with Georgia. But you got to go out and play the game, man. I mean, these are big boy schools. Yeah, sorry, Danny D-Rock. Yeah, that's the only reason I'm even doing this Notre Dame and Georgia game, is because it's the biggest game of the day, the most exciting one, and Clemson is playing Charlotte. So, I'll watch it later. I recorded it. But, I keep switching back and forth. Thoughts on Ohio State 76-5? Ohio State 76-5 did not surprise me at all. I pretty much called it. I picked them with their super high spread, 40 points or whatever it was, because they don't ever take their foot off the gas. I think part of this with Ohio State trying to score as many points as they can every week and not letting up. First of all, I like that. I wish my team. I wish Clemson would do that. But I think part of that is the fact that the Big Ten has been left out of the playoffs for the past couple of years. And so they feel like, look, if we're going to be a one-loss Big Ten champ and be left out of the playoffs, then maybe if we score 80 points a game, then that'll make things look better for us. I mean, that's just the theory I have. How is Trevor doing? I don't know his stats right now. I did see he threw a 50-yard touchdown pass on the second play of their first drive to T. Higgins. So he had a good start. Yes, I did bet on Wisconsin. Yes, I did. Uh, yeah, I was not surprised they beat Michigan by that like that at all. I actually expected that. Yeah, but I think that I think Ohio State, you could easily have them as the second or third best team in the country right now. They should be ranked number 2 or 3 in a real logical poll. They're that good. Ohio State's legit. Now, they haven't really played any good competition, but it doesn't matter. They're blowing everybody off the map. So they look good to me. Notre Dame hands the ball off on 1st and 10. They're not going to pick up much, maybe about a yard. So it's going to be 2nd and 9. Yeah, believe me, there were people betting on Michigan. I was watching them whine and cry on Twitter. I was like, why? But the reason people, it boggles my mind that people continue to think that they're any good. 2nd and 9. Yeah, does Ohio State play Nebraska this year? I don't think they do they? I think they played them last year. Um, is anybody else watching the Clemson game? Because I don't know if they took Trevor out or not. Yeah, they did. Bryce is in right now. Chase Bryce is playing right now, which I'm glad they took him out. Oh, they play Nebraska next week. Okay. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 14. Book back to pass. Massively overthrown ball. Almost intercepted. Should have been intercepted, probably. I don't know what that was. The ball just slipped out of his hand or something. Anyway, it's going to be 3rd and 14. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. That's their cross-divisional one they play every year, right? Nebraska. 3rd and 14. Complete over the middle. Big time gain. Oh, he's tripped up. I think he's going to be like a half a yard short. I thought he was going to get the first down. That was a hell of a play, but that was a hell of a defensive tackle to trip him up right short of the first down there. I thought he had it. Oh, yeah, he's about a full yard short, actually. They're going for it. This is, well, I'd go for it too. Hell, it's on Georgia's 33-yard line. Why not? Timeout who? Notre Dame called timeout. Yeah, that'd be a good game. Wisconsin, Ohio State. I don't expect Michigan to be competitive with Ohio State at all. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago if I thought Maryland would be competitive with Ohio State, I would have said yeah, but now I don't think they would be. I think they were a little bit, hyped up early in the season. Just because they scored a bunch of points against bad teams. I don't know. How'd they do today? Did Maryland, I don't remember what they did today. Yeah, I wouldn't say that Bama's overrated. No, I don't think they are. Bye, I think. Oh, they're on a bye this week. Is that what you're saying? Gotcha. Hmm. I don't know. You could take those top 4 teams. I think you could take Clemson and Alabama and Oklahoma and Ohio State right now, and well, we'll see what Georgia looks like tonight. But those other 4 teams, you can put them in the top 4, swap them any way you want to right now. It's really too hard to tell which team is better than the other right now. But I do say it's hard to say that Clemson's not number 1 just based on the way they ended the season and the fact that they haven't lost. They won 18 straight games. But anyway, that doesn't matter to me as long as they're in the top 4. Can you imagine if this year's playoffs was 8? So who would that? Would Florida be in the playoffs this year? What are they ranked? Are they ranked 8 or 9 or something? Holy Christ, they get smacked by anybody in the top 4. That's why I don't want 8. 9 years out of 10 years, there's not 8 teams that are good enough to win the national championship. They're just not. 6 maybe. I'm okay with 6. I'm okay with expanding to 6, but not 8. Florida's 9. All right, yeah. Well, overrated. Michigan was number 9 or 10 or 11 or something today. They're barely a top 25 team. They should probably be like ranked number 30. All right, 4th and 2. Oh, fumbled the snap. Oh, he almost saved it. He threw a pass incomplete, but he almost saved it. If you go for it on 4th and short. Oh, jeez. Another touchdown for Clemson, 31-0. Yeah. I agree. I don't. Listen. It's just a matter of time because there's so much public pressure for it. They're going to go to at least 8 teams. That's the way I see it, whether we like it or not. 1st and 10. And if there's more money to be made off of having 8 teams and 4, which there probably is as far as TV goes and that kind of thing, then they'll go to it. So, Tyson Pumachan. Why is Peete Jr. yelling in the back? That's Peete Jr. Peete Jr. is in his room probably playing video games or something. Peete Jr., he's always yelling. He's only 4 years old, and he stays wound up. There's no such thing as downtime for him. Oregon 14-3 over Stanford at halftime. Sorry. I've been reading comments, forgetting to look at the game. 3rd and 4. I missed the first 2 downs. Just 5.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. 3rd and 4. Georgia from their own 38. Fromm back to pass. Complete. First down and more. Gets all the way up to about the 47-yard line. 1st and 10 Dogs. Do you need to get approval to live stream? No, anybody can live stream if you got a channel. I don't know what you mean by that. You can live stream you or whatever. You can't live stream copyrighted material or anything like showing the game. But yeah. 1st and 10, 4:55 and counting. Hands the ball off to Simmons, and he's going to pick up just short of the first down. Picks up about 9.5 yards there. 2nd and short. LSU got kind of exposed. LSU doesn't look like their defense is very good. The good news for them is their offense is good. But didn't they give up like 30-something points to a nobody today? That's never a good sign. 2nd and 1. From play action pass. Complete to Swift, and he's taken down for a 2-yard loss there. So it went from 2nd and 1 to 3rd and 3 all of a sudden. There's a flag on the play, though. See what this flag's for. And that's holding against Georgia, which is going to make it even worse. Oof. I feel like I would have just What are they doing here? Are they going to replay second down? Why would you not just decline that? I would have declined that penalty. What? Why would you allow that penalty? Anyway. All right, 2nd and 11 now. And he's taken down for another loss. It's going to be 3rd and long. So, well, made me look stupid. Yeah, so I guess that's the reason you take the penalty. It's going to be about 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13. They said 3rd and 12. Why is Notre Dame number 7? I don't know, because, again, this is why I say the preseason rankings are meaningless, right? Because they started out around 7 and they haven't lost a game. So the same reason Michigan was 11 and Florida's 9, because they're way overranked before they ever played a football game. 3rd and 12. From back to pass. And I don't know what the hell that was. It wasn't a good pass, though, but it's 4th and 12. The Dogs are going to have to punt. Notre Dame's defense right now is just flying. They are all over Fromm. They are all over these running backs. And they are not playing around. Illinois is winning 14-0 over Nebraska. Oh, my God. What's my prediction? You mean for this game? I had Georgia winning by more than a touchdown. I never really gave a... I thought Georgia would win by like 10 or something. 2 scores. Do I think Uncle Lou is screaming right now? There's a 100% chance that he's screaming right now, yes. Yeah, Notre Dame's defensive line is playing really well, and their linebackers too. And that's why I was a little bit surprised that people just thought that that Georgia's just going to steamroll Notre Dame, and because Notre Dame's got big dudes. They're not like a Pac-12 team, right? They're not even like a Big 12 team where they got speedy guys. They're built to compete with the top guys in college football. Now, they're being built to do it and actually doing it are two different things, but they're built to do it. 1st and 10. And they pick up about 4, run up the middle. It's going to be 2nd and 6. Yeah, they got big dudes, man. They got big NFL-sized guys all over their team. Who wants to see Oklahoma and Notre Dame in the college football playoff? I don't really care. I just want to see competitive games. You know what I mean? It's no fun watching the blowout games in the playoffs. 2nd and 5. Book. Complete. And 1st down, Notre Dame. So we're inside of 2 minutes from the first quarter here. Score's still 0-0. And so far through the first quarter, I think that Notre Dame overall just has looked like the better team in the first quarter. So we'll see what happens. And a run around to the left picks up about 2 yards. Going to be 2nd and 8. I wonder how Uncle Lou is reacting so far. He's probably doing the same thing I'd be doing. He's probably acting like a maniac. That's true, DF Sports. I think that does have something to do with it. Second and 7. Play action, screen pass. Oh, he's taken down by his helmet. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag there. Anyway, good defensive play by the Bulldogs. It's going to be 3rd and, I don't know, about 10? 3rd and 9, they say. So 3rd and long here. The battle of the overrated teams. I don't know, man. Overranked, maybe. I don't know. But overrated, I don't think so. I think these are 2 really good teams. So, you know. Book back to pass, throws a short pass. He's got a lot of green in front of him. He's going to get a first down and more across the 40-yard line. There wasn't a defender within 10 yards of him when he caught the football. Who was covering this guy? That's a busted coverage. Nobody was covering him. Unbelievable. 3rd and long, and he picks up like 15 yards. It's Clemson and the Roy. I don't ever know how to feel about Auburn. TDT Tyler, I never know how to feel about them, man. As soon as here's the thing. Last year, they had me believing they were like a playoff caliber team in the first couple weeks, and then they just sort of fell off. I don't trust Gus Malzahn. That's the thing. They look really good so far. Let's put it that way. After 4 weeks, I need to see maybe a couple more weeks before I can really tell you how I feel. But they're playing good so far. Ian Book to the Colts? No way. Why would you say that, sir? I don't know. I don't know if Ian Book's going to be like a legitimate starting NFL quarterback or not. I think he's a really good college quarterback. I don't know if he's going to translate to the NFL or not. Florida State did win, huh? Mark says he thinks that it will be LSU and Clemson in the championship. That is that's a hot take. LSU's got to get through Auburn. I mean, through Alabama. It's not going to be easy. I like it, though, Mark. I like bold predictions. I love it. Jeez, Appalachian State won. I'm actually not surprised about that either. Do I like Justin Fields? Yeah, I do. What's not to like? If I were an Ohio State fan, I would be on my knees thanking and praising Georgia for running him off out of there. I think they're going to regret that. I know they love Jake Fromm, and it is what it is. But Justin Fields is clearly a more talented player than Fromm is. So, yeah, I'd be happy if I were Ohio State that I got him. Who do I got winning? Well, I can't change my pick from before the game till now because that'd be cheating. So I picked Georgia to win the game. I don't know if that's what you're asking me or not. Dark horse in the ACC is Wake Forest, says Mark. That's a good pick. I mean, there's not many teams left that don't have a loss. Virginia, they're undefeated, but right now somebody just said they were losing to something called Old Dominion. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who? Syracuse was supposed to be really good this year. They're just not. There's not really any good teams in the ACC. That's just the way it is. Got a lot of new head coaches, though. 4 new head coaches. So I feel like another year or two, things will get a little more stabilized in the ACC, and they'll get better. But yeah, Fields is a big guy. Yeah, that's how the third string quarterback, the true freshman for Clemson, Tyson Pumachan, he looks like Cam Newton. He's got to be 6'5", 230, and he's 18 years old. So I can imagine by the time he's 22 years old, he'll probably be 6'6", 250, 240 something. He's a big kid. Yeah, Joe Burrow. He's from Ohio, and he did transfer from Ohio State. He played at Ohio State as a backup for 3 seasons. 2nd and 11. Of course, one of those was a redshirt year. And Book complete to the tight end, and he drops it, and he picks it back up. Yeah, DJ will definitely not start next year because Trevor's coming back for one more year. So, 3rd and 6. And flags flying everywhere. False start against Notre Dame. Big mistake. Well, from the way things are looking, this might be one of those 14-7 games. It's not going to be a whole lot of points scored today, I don't think, unless something happens in the second half and they start scoring a bunch of points or something. Renfro catches his first touchdown tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised, man. They're throwing him the ball a lot. 3rd and 11. 13 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first half. I'm going to change the... What just happened? Did they get a delay of game just now? Or that took a timeout? I guess the noise is getting to them there. Oh, Charlotte got on the board with a field goal, huh? What is the score there? 31-3. And it's still in the first half. Wait a second. How about Clemson joining the SEC? You gave a trade to the ACC. Tennessee, Clemson plays more like an SEC team anyway. Yeah, I hear a lot of people say that. I don't think that's going to happen. Clemson's one of the original ACC teams when the league was formed. Not saying it will never happen. I just don't know. That's all politics and all money. So, and you also have to realize that even though Clemson is a football school, right? They're not a basketball school, obviously. They're good in other sports, but they're a football school, right? But there are other sports that go into affiliations with conferences. So I wouldn't expect to see them leave the ACC anytime in the near future. All right, 3rd and 11. And it's complete pass from Book on 3rd and 11, but he's going to go nowhere. He's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 4th down. They have to punt. You know, a lot of these SEC fans, they say they want to trade Clemson for one of their bad teams, but do you really want to face Clemson every year? I mean, I don't really know. You say you want Clemson in the SEC, but if you're Georgia or South Carolina or Florida or any of these other teams in the East, do you really want to have Clemson in the East? I mean, that's just going to make your road to the playoffs even harder than it already is. So, I don't know. Fourth and 9. And Book kicks it up. Good kick. And fair catch. And he drops it. Notre Dame got the ball on the 10-yard line. Bad mistake. Bad mistake. Yeah, that's something you can't do there. That's a huge play. It's plays like that in a close game that decide who wins or not. Tennessee is a conference embarrassment. Well, every conference has embarrassing teams, sir. So, I mean, there's not a single conference out there that doesn't have a handful of embarrassing teams in it. So, this is huge. So, first and goal. So, it must be inside the 10-yard line. I'm going to say around the 9-yard line, where it looked like. 12 minutes left. 12 minutes, 22 seconds in the first half. It's from the 8-yard line. And it's a pitch. And he got some blockers. Oh, but they gang tackle him right around the 6, it looks like. He picked up a couple of yards. Second and goal. Georgia has not allowed a single red zone touchdown so far this season. We'll see if that changes right now. Second and goal. Book, back to pass. Throws it into the corner of the end zone. He jumps up, and there's a flag. That's going to be a interference call. It's got to be. Hell, those guys look like they were kissing. I'm actually surprised that there's not been more flags in this game. Usually, when I was watching that with the Michigan and Wisconsin game, it's like every play, as soon as the play is over, you just look for a flag. And they just start throwing flags anyway and just pick them up and say, there's no foul on the play. They're just so used to throwing flags, they just throw it out of like a reflex or something. No, sir. Go away, Avery. Either that or pay your cable bill so you can watch it on your own TV. First and goal. So they got an automatic first down because of that. And from the 2. Throws it into the corner again. Incomplete. What was that? Why don't they just run the ball? I don't understand why these people do, why teams do this. They get down within 2 yards, and then they start doing these crazy passes, like trying to outsmart the other guy. How about just line up and run it 4 times if you have to? If you can't get 2 yards and 4 downs, then you don't deserve to score a touchdown anyway. Second and goal. Touchdown. And it looks like that was the tight end. I'm just looking for a flag. No flag. That was a well-designed play there. All right, dude, I've had enough of your sorry ass. If you can't follow simple instructions, then you're out of here. Freaking idiots. Yeah, exactly. I don't know why they do these passing. Now, that passing play worked. But sometimes I think they outthink themselves. You know what I mean? Especially when you have a team that is running it all the way down the field. They'll run it an 80-yard drive. They'll run it 70% of the time, and that's the reason they got in the first and goal or whatever. And then they start passing it. It's like you're running it down their throats. Why do you stop doing that? That drives me nuts. Carolina lost to Kelly Bryant and the Missouri Tigers, like I said they would. Did anybody think that Kelly Bryant was ever going to lose to a Gamecock wearing a college uniform? No. Yeah, the game's like 30-something to 3, Clemson Carson. It is 38-3 now. They just scored another touchdown, looks like. Lynn J. Dixon got a touchdown. He's got 58 yards on the night. It's still the first half, so this game will probably end up right around 70-6. All right, Mark. Change the score here. Oh, hell, did they call that touchdown back? I just changed the score. What did I miss? I didn't realize they called that touchdown back. I just gave Notre Dame 7 points on the screen for no reason. I'm going to leave it there just in case they do get a touchdown. I'll have to change it. 3rd and goal. Now it's going to be 4th and goal. Oh, Kirby called a timeout. That's what it was? So what do you do here? You're on the 1-yard line. You're on the half-yard line. They're going for it. Good. I'm glad they're doing this. It'd be a shame to kick a field goal after that drive. Or after that turnover, I mean. 4th and goal. And we got some shifts, some crazy movement going on here. Ian Book rolls out to his left. He's being flustered. Touchdown! He had 3 opening guys. Just one of them, the first one that was there, happened to jump up and catch it. But there was 3 guys that were open. Fall forward. Wow. Yeah, he was throwing it to number 6, but number 84 just jumped up and caught it. So I said there was 2 guys that were open there. Clemson Carson says he's pulling for Georgia. Yeah. All right, so I didn't have to change the score. 7-0. Irish. Will this wake up Georgia? We'll see. Well, if I'm Georgia right now, I'm not going to get away from what I do best, and I'm going to run the ball, and run the ball some more. They've been passing the ball a lot in the first half here, and that's not what they are. That's not who they are. Again, they're outthinking themselves. Just run the ball. Force them to respect the run, then you can start passing it. Don't start passing it early when you're not a passing team. Yeah, that's not surprising, Billy. Clemson people are not going to pull for South Carolina to beat anybody. And 2017, Georgia beat Notre Dame with a fumble. Same here, possibly. Just goes to show you, man, anything can happen. Yeah, I was watching Game Day this morning. Kirk Herbstreit, they were talking about that UCF and Pitt game, and he said, "Look, I realized that Pitt's they got a real stubborn type of defensive line, and they're real gritty, which is what they're known for. That's who Pitt is." He said, "But there's no way they're slowing down UCF's offense. No way." Well, they did. They did for the entire first half. And they did enough in the second half to win the game. So, well, I tally and I give credit to Notre Dame as an ACC team. You guys don't have to like it, but I do. So, I don't know how you can call them not an ACC team. They play 5 ACC teams a year. They're a full ACC participant in every other major sport. They're an ACC team. They want to pretend as if they're not. So, all right, 10 minutes and 40 seconds left. It's going to be a touchback. Let's see what Georgia can do if they can answer that score here. Old Men in Virginia. Notre Dame does not play an ACC championship game. No, they don't. You're right. Because they claim independence. But they play 5 ACC schools every single year. And if you go to a Notre Dame basketball game, it says ACC painted on the court and on their jerseys. You go to a baseball game, same difference. So it's politics. They don't claim to be in the ACC, but they're not fooling me. They can claim whatever they want. I didn't say they played good ACC teams. I said they played ACC teams. There's not that many good ACC teams anyway, so. 2nd and 9. They handed off to Swift. Big time run by Swift. He got about 7 yards after contact there. That's what they need to do. If I'm Georgia, I'm handing the ball to number 7 all night long and forcing them to stop him. He's the best player on the offense. Period. 1st and 10. He picks up about 5 yards there. It's going to be 2nd and 5. I saw somebody say Notre Dame's not in the Atlantic Coast, so they wouldn't fit. Well, they're already in. But it's already happening, though. They're already completely affiliated with the ACC, so it's already happening. I agree geographically the Big Ten makes more sense, but they already have an affiliation with the ACC in every sport. And so if they're going to join a conference, it would only make sense that they join the ACC in football. 2nd and 5. And they hand the ball off, and he's going to be bottled up for maybe about a 1 yard loss there. I don't know if that's true or not. I'm not going to dispute it, but As far as I know, Notre Dame has always wanted to be an independent. They've never wanted to join a conference. 3rd and 6. From drop back to pass. And it's complete. Looks like the tight end, I think. And he gets a first down. And that should have been intercepted. There's 2 players standing right there that could have got that ball. That's the one thing that really frustrates me about college defenders as opposed to NFL defenders is that they train these kids in college to not look back for the ball. If you're a defender, just start sticking your hands up and shit. If they just turn around and look at the ball, they could intercept a lot more passes. But whatever. Roberto LeBron. Clemson is playing a team worse than Miami and only put up 38 in the first half, while Ohio State scored 49 in the first half. Blah, blah, blah. Clemson's offense weak or Ohio State better? Swift goes around and picks up another first down. Sir, I mean, what do you think? I don't know. All I know is that they both destroyed they're destroying bad teams. I mean, what do you want me to say? And the other thing I know is that Ohio State has lost the last 2 times they played Clemson. So I do know those 2 things. Other than that, I don't know anything. 1st and 10. Inside of 7 minutes left in this second quarter here. Play action pass. Complete to the tight end. He fumbles it and picks it back up. Gets back to about the line of scrimmage. That was an ugly-ass play there. But he might have picked up a yard. We'll see. Trevor Lawrence only played the first quarter. Justin Fields had 6 touchdowns in the second quarter alone. So... it's way too early in the year for anybody to be saying this team would beat that team or this team would beat that, whatever. That's just all opinion. 2nd and 8. And it's going to be a complete pass around the right. Picks up about 15 yards. Good play there by Georgia's offense. 1st and 10. 5 minutes and 58 seconds left. Yes, exactly. Yeah, usually by week 6 they are. False start on Georgia. Got a good drive going, and then they commit a dumb penalty like that. What's the score of that Oklahoma State game? Oklahoma State and Texas. 19-21, Texas on top. All right. Thank you. 1st and 15. And it's going to be a screen pass. And he's going to be tripped up at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and about, 12. Yeah, 2nd and 12. Georgia needs to win so you can pick up $175,000 on a 10-team parlay ticket. Is that what you're saying? I did bet a parlay, a crazy parlay, but I'm already out of it because who lost on my parlay? If I would have won it, I would have won $4,000 on a $10 bet, I think. It's like 9 teams. But who lost it for me? I can't remember now. Somebody lost it for me. early in the day. But good luck, sir. If Georgia wins, they have to cover though, right? They had a big spread, so no, I didn't bet on Pitt. Who was it? Oh, Kentucky. Kentucky let me down. That's who it was. Yeah, they were. I think I won every other one though. Like, which pisses me off because I wouldn't have Kentucky in that bet. I still would have won a couple grand. Am I surprised by Notre Dame right now? No, I'm not really. I don't think that Notre Dame's is. I mean, everyone loves to say Notre Dame sucks. They're trash. Oh, how are they? They suck. They were 12-0 last year. They lost by the same margin in the playoffs as Alabama did. They're not a bad team. Now, having said that, I did think that Georgia was better, and I did pick Georgia to beat them. So, which still might happen. Well, you're smart if you took Mississippi State over Kentucky because I was an idiot. I just Kentucky blew it though. Really, they should have. I got Kentucky at over a touchdown underdog. I figured if they lost, it would be by 7 points or less. I didn't think they would lose by as much as they lost by. They just kind of crapped the bed. They didn't look like the same team as they did against Florida last week. Auburn's not elite, but only going to get better. I do like that quarterback they got, that Bo Nix kid. He looks like he's going to be good. All right, 2nd and 12. Run up the middle, and he's going to get really nothing. He picks up about 2 yards there. It can be 3rd and 10 or 3rd and 9. 3rd and 9. 4 minutes and 20 seconds in the first half and counting. Well, it depends on what the over is. If the over is 90, I'm not taking it. Third and 9. Fromm throws it complete for a first down. Yeah, he just got juked. That is true. Billy did call it. You can still hear the TV. Well, I know you can hear it a little bit. It's not even... Hell, I can hear it, barely hear it. It's not that loud. Fromm keeps it with the quarterback keeper, and he fumbled it. They're going to say he was down. Ooh, that was almost like one of those Texas A&M situations from last year with Clemson where he fumbled it out the back of the end zone. Let's see if he was down. Yeah, he was down. His knee was down way before. Yeah, me too. I knew Wisconsin was going to handle Michigan. I have them in my picks. I would have bet Wisconsin even if they were over a touchdown favorite. Easy money there. I can't believe anybody ever bets on Michigan. Michigan doesn't ever cover. 2nd and goal. Touchdown Swift. So that was a little bit better drive there, or a lot better, not a little better, by Georgia. And they did a lot what they what they normally do. Run the ball. Can Notre Dame put together a long drive like that? No. I don't know. Who is bigger upset city, Pitt or Iowa State? That's a good question. Problem is, Iowa State just lost in Iowa State last week, so they lost to Iowa, didn't they? Pitt upsets a lot of people in Pitt. I didn't see that, Danny D. Rock. I didn't see that call. I heard people talking about it. I don't know. Iowa State was favored. Yeah, and they lost, didn't they? Pitt is one of those teams that beats people that are massively favored over them. They did it against Clemson. They did it against Miami a few years ago when Miami was like 11, whatever it was, 10-1 at the time, or 10-0 at the time. And of course, they did it today against UCF. UCF had a huge regular season win streak going on. And they blasted that. Yeah, I'll update the score. What's up, Dennis Wilson? How you doing, man? Big win for your Canes today, huh? Are you? I know you're happy they won, but you've got to be a little bit disappointed with the way they looked. But hey, a win's a win. Hey, I'm just happy. I'm happy with the way this game's going. It's competitive. It's a good game. It's not 21 or 24-0 in the first half. So, I'm happy. UCF can't claim themselves national champs this year. No, they can't. And by the way, it's only right. We talked about this earlier for anybody who wasn't here. It's only right for them to go ahead and pack up their fake national championship trophy and mail it to Pittsburgh, and let them have it for now. What's up, Paul Fartbomb? What the hell? I don't really know if you have to worry about that DF Sports. I actually believe that Ohio State this year they're just that much better than everybody else in the Big Ten. Now, Wisconsin's a tough team. But Wisconsin's not a team that can get into a shootout throwing the ball like Ohio State can. So we'll see in a few weeks, right? When did they play each other? Not too far from now, is it? All right, so there's 2.5 minutes, or just inside of 2.5 minutes left in this first half here. Got a tie ball game, and we'll see if Notre Dame can run down the field and at least get a field goal or maybe a touchdown. And wouldn't that be something if Notre Dame went into the half with the lead? Uncle Lou must be having a heart attack. He's probably had about 4 or 5 heart attacks in the past, hour. Yeah, Wisconsin's a legit team. They got an NFL offensive line. Both lines of scrimmage, they got big dudes, and they can really run the ball. And Jonathan Taylor is something else, man. But you're right. If it came to a situation where they had to pass their way back into a game against a team like Ohio State, I'm not sure that they could do that. 2nd and 26. Complete. Oh, he dropped it. What was that? That was a weird-looking play. I guess they're going to say incomplete. I don't know what they're going to say. Did he have the ball or not? They're going to call that a catch. He caught it on the back of another player. That was weird. Book back to pass, throws it over the middle. Complete for a big gain across the 50, all the way down to the Georgia 42-yard line for about a 30-yard gain on the play. That was a hell of a throw. That was a great throw. 1st and 10. Book complete again. Inside the 40 or at the 40. And second down and 8. Yes, we saw the helmet catch in the Super Bowl that one year with the Giants and the Patriots. Remember that? Book back to pass, throws it deep down the left-hand side. Big time catch inside the 15 all the way down to the 11-yard line. 1st and 10, Notre Dame at the 11-yard line. Who was it that just got done saying that that Notre Dame could not move the ball down the field? They seem to be doing it pretty well. Hell, it only took them a minute and a half to go 70-something yards. 1st and 10. And flag. Yeah, Aaron Short, that's a very good question. They looked terrible against Louisville, didn't they? So that's a false start against Notre Dame. That's like the third one they've had this half. Yeah, Notre Dame didn't. That was the first game of the year. You never know, man. Sometimes these guys just they haven't really started to gel yet. Listen, Notre Dame looks a lot better today than they did that night. That's for sure. All right, 1st and 15. 40 seconds left here in the second quarter. So while we're waiting on this play, for anybody if this is your first time at the stream, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, or click any button. I don't care, just as long as you watch. At halftime, I will take a break for about 10 minutes during halftime. But I'm not going to shut the stream down. I'll be back. I'm just going to go take a break for a minute. You guys are welcome to stay in here, chat amongst yourselves, whatever you want to do. What do I think about Justin Fields at Ohio State? You're about the third or fourth person asked me that in the stream tonight, and I think he's great. All right, here we go. Clock is ticking, 38 seconds, 1st and 15 from the 17-yard line of Georgia. Book back to pass, rolls out to the right, throws it complete inside the 10, taken down around the 9-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal, or second down and something. 2nd and 7. What just happened? What are they are they not in a hurry? Did they not realize that there's only like 13 seconds left in the half, and they're just taking their time? So no more timeouts for them. So basically, you've got, with 13 seconds left, you definitely have time for 2 plays, but you can't run the ball now because you just used your last timeout. What's up, Christian? How you doing, man? Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Yeah, terrible clock management. Yeah, what I would probably do, I agree with whoever said that. I would take one shot into the end zone here, and then I would just kick a field goal. I wouldn't mess around. Definitely get some points going into the half here, because you don't get the ball back in the second half. I think Georgia gets the ball to start. They do. Georgia gets the ball to start the second half, so you've got to get some points here out of this. Yeah, I don't really like to do rankings, man, and I explained that in my videos. A lot of YouTubers do that, But my rankings are like important to me, and nobody's gonna agree with my rankings, right? Just like I don't care about the AP ranking. Here we go, 2nd and 7. What was that? He just throws it into the stands. I will start doing my projections for the rankings, at least the top 10 or 15, right when we get close to when the actual college football playoff rankings come out. That's when I'll start doing my rankings. I guess what is that, after week 8, something like that. Who do I think will win the Coastal? I don't know. Flip a coin. There's probably about 3 teams that could. Duke could. Virginia could. Hell, Pitt could. Hell, I don't know. Yeah, good question. 3rd and 7. No, Christian, I don't. I don't think they'll both make it. I mean, of course, it's possible. I just don't think it's always easier to bet against that happening. More years than not, you're not going to see it happen. So, I don't think so. I think either one of those 2 teams will make it, but probably not both of them. Very true. I don't think it really matters who wins the Coastal either. I mean, the chances are they're just going to, whoever it is going to lose to Clemson. Um, but, I don't know. I mean, it's just Clemson's so far ahead of everybody else in that conference right now. So, 3rd and 7. Timeout, Georgia. God. Auburn will beat Georgia? No. I mean, maybe. I thought you said Auburn won't beat Georgia. Of course, that's possible. Yeah, I don't know who Oklahoma is. There anybody in the Big 12 that can challenge Oklahoma? I don't think Texas can. I mean, the main thing Texas had going for them last year is that their defense was really good. This year, their defense doesn't look like it's near as good. No P break for Peete. Yeah. I think with Utah beating or getting beat by Southern Cal, what was that, Friday night? Was that last night? Yeah, that probably ended the Pac-12's chances unless Oregon can win out and somehow get in there. All right, 9 seconds left. Book throws it in the corner of the end zone again. He's double covered. Why in the hell would you throw that? Here we go. And it's good right through the middle. That's the end of the first half. I'll change the score real quick for you fine folks. And Notre Dame, shockingly, has the lead at halftime in Athens against the Georgia Bulldogs. This is a good game so far. And hopefully the second half is even better. We'll see. All right, guys, listen, it's halftime. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. All right. So while we're waiting on this game to come back on, I'm watching the Clemson game here. It's 45-3 in the third quarter. I did see who was that? Frank? Was that Ladson that got the last touchdown? I think it was Ladson. I don't know what Chase Bryce's stats are, but he's got at least 2 or 3 touchdowns. Oh, a touchdown by Charlotte. They just muffed the reception there. Who was that? Oh, it was Dabo's son, young Sweeney. Hey, nothing like getting chewed out by your dad on the sideline. Clemson was favored by 42.5 points, I think, in this game. They'll probably still cover it, but yeah, Ohio State almost scored. Ohio State has been the biggest lock of betting on them for the first 4 weeks. They're covering the spread by 30 and 40 points every time. Who said that Adrian Peterson was just okay? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. Free Palmachan. I'm with you. Is he in yet? Have they played him yet? I don't think Oklahoma will lose that game this year, like they did last year. Texas's defense does not look near as good as it was last year. Oh. Do Auburn versus Mississippi State next week? Yeah, I'll have to look and see what the games are next week. I'm trying to think of what the good games next week are. Yeah, dude, DF Sports. I don't know what people are watching with Michigan. I don't know why anybody believed that Michigan was going to win the Big Ten this year. Hey, touchdown Charlotte. So I guess they didn't give them the touchdown. They got it now, so it's going to be 45-10 after the extra point here. Virginia just scored. Mark says, now that I've seen Georgia play, I can say that I think Ohio State will beat them. Before I thought Georgia would win, but I've seen them really play now. I think Ohio State will squeeze through. Well, I would have to agree with you. I'd still say it's way too early to make that judgment, because if they play each other, it would be obviously in a post-season scenario, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on between now and then. Teams get better. So, I mean, look, Clemson last year, they almost lost to Syracuse in Clemson. And then they went on the last 4 games of the season. They just manhandled everybody. And then they manhandled Notre Dame, and then they manhandled Alabama. So teams get better. But if they were to play tomorrow or next week, yeah, I would probably take Ohio State over Georgia. Jim Harbaugh is probably the most overpaid, overrated, overhyped head coach maybe in the history of all of college football. when he was in the Pac-12 with Andrew Luck, and he's never going to have a quarterback that was even a tenth as good as Andrew Luck was. They didn't even win the Pac-12 back then. And he hasn't been able to recruit any elite quarterback the entire time he's been at Michigan. They went and got Shea Patterson from Ole Miss. Shea Patterson was a better player at Ole Miss than he is at Michigan. So, yeah. Overrated. And massively overpaid. Don't see any good games next week. There's got to be at least one or two. If there's a bunch of bad games, I might just end up streaming Clemson, North Carolina. I know that game's at 3:30, which I don't expect that to be a close game either. But I don't know. I'll look through and see if I can find one that's worth doing or not. There's got to be one or two good games out there. Christian, Clemson schedules more Power 5 teams than Alabama does, sir. What are you talking about? Christian, you play 3 non-Power 5 teams a year. Clemson only plays 2 non-Power 5 teams a year. So, I mean, it's not Clemson's fault. What do you mean, Bull? It's a fact, sir. Look it up. You play 3 non-Power 5 teams a year. Clemson plays 2 non-Power 5 teams a year. And we schedule an SEC team every year for the past 7 years. And we play South Carolina as our in-state rivalry. So we play 2 SEC teams every year out of conference, plus our ACC schedule, plus 2 cupcakes. That's it. That's the way our schedule works every year. South Carolina sucks. Yes, they've sucked for what year is it? 2019. Let me do the math here. So 2019. Watch how I do this. I'm a genius. So let's just round up to 20. We'll say 20. So you take the 20 years off of this century. You add the entire last century. So that's 120 years. And then you add the 5 years from the previous century. So that's 125 years. And since we rounded up 1, we'll take that off. So 124 years. South Carolina has sucked. What's up, Prince 6'1"? How you doing? Oh, wait. I take that back. South Carolina did not suck for at least 1 year in the past 125 years. In 1969, when half of the college-age kids, football-age players, were all fighting a war in Vietnam, they won the ACC championship game. That's all they've got. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? Christian Ballard says, we haven't played y'all home and home with each other yet. Why don't y'all come to get whooped at Bryant Denny? We can hang 50 on y'all taters. Well, I don't know. Maybe because you don't schedule home and homes with anybody, sir. You do these neutral site games. Clemson does schedule home and homes with SEC teams every year. And Alabama goes out and does neutral site games against low-level ACC schools. That's why. Washington State versus Utah, USC. No games look. Clemson's already had their interesting games, really, for this year. Really, let's be honest here. A&M and Syracuse were probably the 2 most interesting games that Clemson had on their schedule, and those are already over with. So we recently scheduled 4 or 5 future home and homes. Well, good. That's in the future. I'm glad to see you're doing that now. Clemson scheduled, and just in this decade, 2 home-and-home series with Auburn, a home-and-home series with Texas A&M. We have a home-and-home series with Georgia in the next few years. I believe we have a home-and-home series with LSU scheduled sometime right after that. So. Here's the bottom line. It's not Clemson's fault the ACC's in the dumpster right now. They go out of their way to schedule as many great teams as they can out of conference. They don't run from anybody. They'll schedule Alabama. They'll schedule Ohio State. They'll schedule anybody any year. As a matter of fact, this game's back on. Hell, you guys didn't even tell me the game was back on. There's 13 and a half minutes left here in the third quarter. I didn't realize it was back on. I forgot what I was saying. Well, you can blame Clemson for bringing down the ACC, not FSU, because Jimbo losing 3 years in a row to Clemson and being in the same division is one of the reasons he left there. 2nd and 4. Hand the ball off. First down and more. Across the 40, across the 45, out of bounds at the 47. 1st and 10, Bulldogs. (23 to 21) Oklahoma State. Wow. Yeah, I told you, Texas doesn't have a very good defense. 1st and 10. Hands the ball off, and he's going to be taken down for a massive loss. They might have lost 10 yards on that play. Why are they doing these trick plays? Fake reverses and stuff, man. That's not what they do. Line up, give it to number 7, and let him run it down your throat. Kirby Smart's not a very good game manager. I didn't see your message. I don't know what you're talking about. 2nd and 16. Hold on. Anyway, incomplete pass. Hey, Kirby Smart. You could see. They blew 2 games. They had 1 against Alabama. And, of course, this game's not anywhere close to over, so I'm not saying anything about tonight. But if I were a Georgia fan, I'd be, super pissed right now about the play calling. They're trying to – this doesn't look like Georgia football. They're trying to throw the ball too much. It's not what they do. Fromm is not an elite passer of the ball. Period. How cool it would be to see Jalen play Tua in the Big Easy. That would be cool just, as a casual fan. To see Jalen Hurts play against Alabama. That would be cool. Especially in a big game. All right, 3rd and 16. This is a huge 3rd down for Georgia. because if they have to punt here, that's field position advantage to Notre Dame. Big time. And see, they give it to Swift. Swift making moves, and he's going to cross the 50, but he's going to be short of the first down, about 1.5 yards maybe. What are they going to do? They're going to go for it, I think. They're going to go for it. This is huge. Because if they get stopped, this gives Notre Dame great field position. Jalen looks better than Tua this year. I mean, he's playing in the who has Oklahoma played? I'm not saying he's not playing good. He is playing good, but you know. Oh, they're punting it. Good punt. Oh, touchback. Nebraska. We played Houston. Yeah, Houston's no good. You know Houston just got lost to Tulane, right? Houston might be the only team in America with a worse defense than Oklahoma. So, I'm not taking. It's not again. Much better game than I thought. It's not. It's not Oklahoma's fault or Jalen Hurts' fault who they played. Just like it's not Clemson's fault who they played. It's not Alabama's fault that they travel to Ole Miss next week and Ole Miss sucks. Ole Miss has lost 2 games to non-Power 5 teams this year, I think. So it's nobody's fault. It is what it is. You play the competition that you have that's on your schedule, and you play well. So I'm not knocking Jalen Hurts. He looks amazing. Clemson update. Hold on. Let me see here. Commercial on that channel too. Christian says this game's going to overtime. Oh, Texas just scored. Good. I need them to win by more than 5 for my contest. Yeah, that's a good point. Alabama's schedule is definitely backloaded with those teams you just mentioned. The LSU game will be interesting. Obviously, the Iron Bowl is interesting every year. I don't think, before the season started, I thought that going to Kyle Field was going to probably be a tough game for Alabama. But seeing what I'm seeing from Texas A&M so far this year, I'm not so sure that's the case. I just don't think Texas A&M's got the personnel to compete with Alabama right now. No matter where the hell they could play on the moon, it doesn't matter. But we'll see. Anything can happen. If A&M goes out there and plays some kind of great game, and Alabama just hasn't, not their best day or something, it could be close. But I will say this about LSU: they could score with Alabama, but their defense is taking a step back. I wouldn't be surprised if that game between LSU and Alabama, that's going to be a high-scoring game. 2 really good offenses. If I had to pick it now, I'd say that game could end up to be like a 40 to 35 game, or 40 to 32 or something. A lot of points for those two teams. Normally when Alabama and LSU play, it's a lot lower scoring than that. What was it last year? 28-0, I think. Thomas says that Alabama's defense isn't that tough. Yeah. Well, you do make a point. South Carolina kind of exposed some of the problems on Alabama's defense last week, didn't they? But, all right. Shit. All right, 3rd and 6. 10 minutes and 10 seconds left here in the third quarter. Ian Book back to pass. Throws it over the middle. Complete. Intercepted. And then, intercepted and then fumbled. What the hell just happened here? Out of bounds. So I think that's Georgia's ball. That was the weirdest play. The announcer just said that ball was like a bar of soap in the shower. Oh. Anyway. Looks like it's going to be Georgia's ball. This ball was intercepted, then bobbled, then fumbled, and then goes out of bounds. I can't believe he just said that about the soap. Anyway, that's a huge turnover for Georgia. So now we have a huge turnover for both teams. Equalized it. 1st and 10 from the 22. From play action pass. Throws it complete to Swift. And Swift breaks a couple tackles and he's going to go out of bounds about the 15-yard line. 2nd and 2. And what are they saying? Is there a flag? What's going on? I don't see a flag. Oh, now they say there's a flag. Oh, it's against Georgia. Unnecessary roughing. 10-yard penalty after the play was over. How do you get an unnecessary roughness on offense? Who was that against? It's an offensive lineman. What did he do, throw somebody to the ground? He must have. What does he do? Where does he go? Throw somebody down on the sideline? I don't even know what just happened there. I didn't see a foul. Did somebody see that? 2nd and 17. From back to pass, complete. And they call it dead right there where he catches it. 3rd and, what are they going to call this? 3rd and 10 or 9, something like that. Block in the back. Hell, the guy was already out of bounds. There was no block. I guess. Third and 11. From back to pass, throws it into the end zone. Incomplete. Let's see, is there going to be a flag? I'm waiting for it. No flag. Huge stop there by Notre Dame. Now they're forced to kick a field goal here to tie the game. What's the top 4 if Georgia loses? Well, the irony of this is this game does not mean that Georgia's season is over if they lose this game. Because if, hypothetically, right, if Georgia were to somehow win out and win the SEC, they're still going to get in the playoff. So losing this game wouldn't matter if they did lose the game. But if they did lose this game, the chances of them winning out are pretty slim. But thank you. I'll update it. Oh, you mean next week's rankings? Hell, I don't know. I don't even know what they are now. I honestly don't know what the rankings are now. I don't pay any attention to it. I know people think I'm lying when I say that. I'm not lying. I don't even read the AP polls. The only reason I know that Michigan was number 11 and who was it? Florida was number 9 is because when I was watching the games they played today, it had a little number by the name of the team. I don't pay any attention to it. I don't even know who number 5 is or 6 or 7. I know that Clemson's 1 and Alabama's 2, right? Or is that backwards? I don't even know. So what's Georgia ranked right now? 3? Coming into today? Hold on a second. Let me change this. They're third. Notre Dame is 7. Oklahoma's 5. Okay. Ohio State 6. If I were making my rankings, I don't care what happens in this game. I don't care who wins this game tonight. I'd have Ohio State at 3 right now. Ohio State has scored 18 million points in the first 4 weeks of football. They've curb stomped everybody. So, I mean, you could put Ohio State number 1 right now and it wouldn't bother me. 2, whatever. 3, SEC in the top 4. Yeah, well, that's good. That's great. Probably after tonight it won't be. Probably after the end of the season when it really matters it won't be. And the fact that Florida is ranked in the top 10 is an embarrassment and a travesty to anybody that knows anything about football. So that's why I don't pay attention to it. Pac-12 out of the playoff. The only way the Pac-12 can get in the playoff at this point is if Oregon wins out and there's a bunch of one-loss conference champions and they have some good wins, blow some people out doing it. But most likely you're right. What's up, Jack Harrington? Clemson should be given the ACC title now. Well, what fun would that be? Justin Fields is overrated, says Christian Ballard. I don't know. He had 6 touchdowns today in one quarter. 1 quarter. No, Utah's not undefeated. They lost to Southern California last night. I think it was last night. He was here the last night or the night before. I think it was last night. I'm telling you, listen, I watched the Utah and Southern Cal game, and I'm telling you what. Where was Utah ranked? They were ranked in the top 10 too. There's no way that's a top 10 team. If they played any of these top 5 teams, they get smoked. 1st and 10, Book, complete to the right, and he picks up about 2 yards. They just don't. They're not even on the same level as some of the elite teams. Your friend bet on Utah? Yeah, well, who was it? Lee Corso at the beginning of the season said that Utah was going to make the playoffs and beat Clemson in the first round of the playoffs, and it was going to be Utah. What did he say? Utah and Alabama in the national championship. He's getting too old. He's senile. 2nd and 7. Book. Oh, that was almost a pick 6 right there. He just dropped it. So Georgia's defense has definitely picked up on something. They're jumping these routes. And if you're Ian Book, this is not a good sign if you're a Notre Dame fan. I would not be surprised to see another interception here soon. Yeah, he's not looking good right now. Yeah, I'd have Wisconsin ranked high. Whoever just said that. 3rd and 7. Timeout, Notre Dame. The only thing I would say is, this is why I don't care about the rankings, because you can put Wisconsin wherever you want to in the rankings. They're clearly one of the 6 or 7 best teams in America. Clearly. Now, what they'll do is they'll get credit for beating a massively overrated Michigan team, because Michigan was ranked 11, and so they'll get credit for beating a number 11 team when Michigan's not a number 11 team. They might be in the top 30 at best. Michigan should not be ranked. they're the highest ranking they maybe should have would be 25. And that's being nice. Clemson Tigers Nation. You guys talking about his avatar? Hell, I can't even see it. Oh. Where'd you find that at? You think they would lose to Boise State ranked 20 Michigan? You're assuming that I think that Boise State should be ranked in the top 20, which I probably don't. So. What's up, Nick Hager? Notre Dame has this far made me proud. Yes, they're playing good, sir. They are. All right, here we are, 3rd and 7. This is a big third down for Notre Dame. 7 minutes and 46 seconds left in the third quarter. Book, back to pass. Dumps it over the middle. He's got blockers. And he's going to be taken down about 3 yards. 2 or 3 yards short of the first down there. Good stop by Georgia. Pigskin Pete will be grabbing a beer with Carolina Jackpot before the Florida State game. I asked him that on this. I was on somebody's stream the other night. And he was in there. I said, hey, man, you're going to get a beer with us before the game? He didn't answer. So, I don't know. What's up, Ashley Snell? Punt is up. And there's a fair catch about the 27-yard line. So Georgia takes over 10-10. Did Carolina Jackpot make one of his classic videos after the South Carolina game when they lost to Missouri today? I didn't even see. I didn't pay attention. So, flag against Notre Dame, illegal formation. And Brian Kelly is giving the official an earful. It was hilarious. I hope he doesn't delete it. I want to watch it. He always deletes them. No video at the end of the game from Jackpot, says Billy Dawson, but Prince just said, yeah, there was. He gets all worked up and gets crazy on the videos, and then he deletes them. Yeah, that's what I said, Jay Jobs. I said that this game, it looks like it could end up being like a 17-14 game or something at the end. Oh, it was a halftime video. Okay. Why make the video and then delete it like an hour later? I don't get the point. We just don't make the video then. Let's delete Tennessee and Arkansas in the SEC. Arkansas losing to San Jose State. Yeah, well, that's not surprising. Arkansas is in bad shape. When they hired Chad Morris. Chad Morris runs this, spread offense, high-flying spread offense type deal. Speedy guys. And he took over a Brett Bielema team. I mean, what do you guys expect to happen? This is the same thing, by the way, that's happening right now with Georgia Tech. He took over a team trying to run a pro/spread style offense, and he took over a triple option players. Like it takes at least 4 years to turn that around because you got to recruit an entire 4-year recruiting cycle to get your players in there to run your style of offense. So I'm not surprised that Arkansas is terrible, or Georgia Tech. Your stream is delayed 6 seconds for me. Yeah, that's a YouTube delay. It's just that's normal. All right, 1st and 10, Georgia from the 33. And he hands the ball off. Big hole up the middle. Picks up about 20 yards. And this is what Georgia should have been doing the entire night. Is what they just did. Run. That's what they do best. Power run. And they got Jake Fromm out there running around like he's Drew Brees. He's not. 1st and 10, Dogs. From back to pass. Throws it complete on the sideline. Big time reception there of about 30 yards or so. 20 yards, 30 yards, something like that. 20 yards. 1st and 10, Dogs from the 30. Guy was wide open. From back to pass again. Complete over the middle. 1st down, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They're playing a hurry-up offense right now. He's wide open too. From another wide open receiver, but he falls while he catches it, so he picks up about 6, 2nd and 4. Yeah, good point. If you want to sync up your TV with the stream, pause it for 6 seconds. Yeah. Well, the play doesn't actually happen 6 seconds earlier for you. It happens at the same time for everybody. But YouTube's on a delay. So the Georgia fans are booing because they're saying this guy's faking an injury because they're playing so fast. Jeremiah Owusu-Kormuhu. Prince says he plays hurry-up offense in the bedroom, and he finishes every time. That's a good question, Nick. I don't know. That's with the halftime adjustments. They did some good halftime adjustments for sure, both defensively and offensively, because the Georgia's defense is definitely playing different scheme than they were in the first half. The first quarter in particular, Notre Dame was just gashing them with the tight ends. I mean, there was just every pass was over the middle to the tight end for a 4 or 5 yard pass, and then you pick up 12 to 15 yards on a play, and they've got that pretty well figured out. That seems to be that really Notre Dame's best offensive weapons, which is not good really if you think about it. Is they're relying too much on their tight ends. I like to see Notre Dame run the ball more, and Georgia. Calm down, Richard. Stop eating 30s, whatever that means. I'm assuming you're talking about, well, I think we can figure it out. Don't kill yourself in the process. Just I don't have that many viewers. I can't afford for one to die in the middle of the stream. All right, 2nd and 5. And a direct snap to DeAndre Swift, and he's going to take him down at the line of scrimmage. He might have picked up a yard. That was not very creative at all. There's that's Kirby Smart for you. 10-10 is boring in the third. I don't think so, man. It's better than 30-6. 3rd and 3. From back to pass. He's being chased down by a Notre Dame player. He throws it deep into the end zone. And I think that's a touchdown. Oh, he said he was out. I guess he was out. I thought he got a foot in. Let's see here, the slow motion replay. Oh, he dropped the ball. Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't help. It doesn't matter if you're in if you drop the ball. Clearly incomplete. That was a good throw, though. So we got a 31-yard field goal attempt, and it is good. So Georgia will take the lead again. 13-10 against the Leprechauns. Clemson 52-10. That's the score it's been for a while. Michael Dukes touchdown. You know, Michael Dukes is from where I live. Go look up, if you're a Clemson fan on here, you probably already know who he is. Go look up Michael Dukes' high school stats. He played at a little tiny private Christian school here in Charleston. And you go look at this guy's high school numbers. They look like video game numbers, like it's almost not even like attainable. He's going to be a good player. He wasn't even recruited by that many Division I teams, but he was recruited by Clemson. And I'd say, depending on who we got coming in here, because ETN will leave right after this year, most likely. Now we have Lynn J. Dixon, who's a sophomore, but I think he'll end up working his way up to the number 2 spot, and maybe eventually late in his time at Clemson, maybe the number 1 spot. He's that good. He's like Barry Sanders type player. All right, here we go. Kickoff. And it's going to be knelt down in the end zone for a touchback. Yeah, I don't know. I did see a couple of plays from Henry Prince. I've been watching this game, doing the stream, so I haven't seen a lot of the Clemson game. I'm recording it right now, so I'm going to go watch it probably after I get off the stream tonight, just to see how everyone looked. But I didn't see much of the game. Will Alabama steal Dabo after Saban retires? No, they won't. Holding against... Who's that against? Notre Dame? Yeah, Henry, he's a really good athlete. All right. So holding against Notre Dame, they're going to re-kick. So they just spent 18 minutes explaining it to Kirby Smart, and now they're going to spend another 18 minutes explaining it to Brian Kelly. Does it really take 18 officials and 10 minutes to explain a holding call? What the hell is going on here? Kirby has that 4th and 11 look on his face. I still don't understand what just happened. I wouldn't hate Dabo if he chose to go to Alabama. I've said it. The way I feel about that is I would not be surprised if Dabo does go back to Alabama in his latter years. He's not even 50 years old yet. I could see maybe 15 years from now doing that just for the nostalgia of it. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be the guy that replaces Saban, though. So it's just not going to happen. And they do a pooch kick, and Notre Dame actually returns this, and he's got some room to run. All of that for nothing because he's taken down at the 25-yard line, which is exactly what would have happened with the touchback from the play before. So we just wasted at least 20 minutes of our precious time on absolutely nothing. Welcome to college football 2019, folks. I mean, listen, God, by the way, the money thing, people saying, oh, well, who will pay him more? Listen, if you're making $90 million in your contract versus $100 million somewhere else, like, are you going to live that much of a better life on $100 million as you are $90 million? I don't think it really matters. 1st and 10. I'd rather be at the place where I'm the legend and make 90 than go to follow up Saban and Bear Bryant and make 100 million. That's just me. So they stopped the game again to tell us that the clock didn't start. This is like a circus show with the officiating. All right, here we go. Finally, a football play. 1st and 10, 4 minutes and 15 seconds left. And Notre Dame hands the ball off. And he picks up about 2. Going nowhere, sir. 2nd and 8 coming up. Yeah, that was the longest kickoff in the history of kickoffs. All right, 2nd and 7. Book hands the ball off again. He bounces out to the right. He breaks a tackle or 2, and he picks up about 6. It's going to be 3rd and 2. I don't know why you're really surprised to see Ohio State score 76 points on who'd they play? A nobody. Oh, Miami of Ohio. 3rd and 2. And another flag, of course. False start against Notre Dame. Jeez. This game might not be over until about 1 a.m. this rate. There's a flag on every play. Third and 7. Play clock rundown. Delay of game, you dumb asses. What are they doing? So Notre Dame, after, did they call a timeout? Well, they had to because there was about to be a delay of game. They don't even. They're back there standing around, looking around like they don't realize what they're doing, like what they're playing in a football game. Notre Dame came out in the first half and looked like they knew how to play football. Now they look like they even forgot where they were. Well, if you can't hear something, that's fine, but they're just standing around and looking at each other. All right, here we go. Third and 7. I just heard a whistle. Complete. Was it complete or incomplete? They say incomplete. Caught it and dropped it. Dude. So Notre Dame is self-destructing right before our eyes. It's like he just caught the ball and decided he didn't want to have the ball anymore and just threw it down on the ground. Like, what was that? 34-23 Texas. Yeah. Very hard to understand their Irish accents. Where's Rudy when you need him? Charles Foster Kane, good afternoon to you, sir. Welcome to the stream. I'm sure if you're here, you're amazing and fantastic. Oh, look, another flag. Another false start against Notre Dame. Shocker. I feel like Brian Kelly might actually stroke out on the sideline. All right, the punt is up. And that's take a Notre Dame bounce inside the 20 at the 18. This game has the exact same look and feel of the 2017 game. Yes, it does. I can't stand Gary. All right, here we go. First and 10. There's 2 minutes and 18 seconds left here in the third quarter. First and 10, Georgia. Hands the ball off to Swift. Swift bursts up the middle for about a 7-yard gain. It's going to be 2nd and 3. Good run by Swift. Christian Ballard is obviously hitting the sauce hard this evening. Says that Alabama's going to beat Clemson 54-7. And I guess the only reason I can think he picked that number is because it's more than what Clemson beat them by last year. Here, Swift up the middle. And he hurdles somebody. And another big run by Swift. First and 10. That'll be all over the Sports Center highlights. Slim Shady Kane's coming through with a $5 super chat donation. What are the odds that Lou has pulled out half of his hair already? The odds are very high. If he God knows what he's broken in his garage. Thank you, Slim Shady, for that. This is what Georgia's been doing the whole game. They weren't doing this during the first half. I don't know. Swift didn't get very many touches in the first half. There he goes again. He's off to the races. Breaking tackles, juking people. First down, Georgia. Another big run by Swift. Swift is taking over this game right now. What's going on here? Is he crying? There's no crying in football. What just happened? What are they faking injuries? They're saying there's something in his eye. Does anybody see what's going on here? This is bizarre. So they're saying that they're faking injuries. This guy looked like he was crying. Now, if faking injuries is one thing, but if you fake crying, that's a whole nother level of acting that I've never seen before. Did you see that? The guy was walking back to the, he's just walking casually and just falls to the ground and starts holding his eyes. Now they're going to put drops in his eyes. Okay. All right. Anyway, back to football here. 1st and 10, inside of a minute. Only about 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. Yeah, the old shed a tear trick. And they're going to hand the ball off. And good defensive play. Taken down for a loss of a yard or so. Finally, we see some life back in the Notre Dame defense. UCLA is beating Washington State. Washington State was like a 30-point favorite in that game. And UCLA is awful. All right, there's the end of the third quarter finally. That was the longest quarter in the history of all of college football. I feel at least 10 years older by having watched it. And it looks like everybody's pulled out their cell phones and turned on the light on their cell phone. That's amazing. I don't know what I like more from the Georgia tradition. Pulling out their cell phone and turning the light on, or shaking those cheerleader pom-poms all game. What is that about? But this is a good game goes so far. Hopefully we see a good ending. Look at the flip phones in Georgia. Christian Ballard says he cried when Alabama made a 49-yard field goal. Meanwhile, didn't Clemson's kicker kick like a 60-yard field goal a couple weeks ago? And also, didn't Alabama miss like a extra point last week against South Carolina? That's not good. Yeah, Jay Jobs says Georgia looks like a slightly stronger team than Notre Dame. I think they have a little bit more depth for sure. They've been recruiting amazing for the past few years. But this game's not over. Not over by a long shot. I mean, who would have thought it would be a 3-point game after 3 quarters? Not many people. 1 second. Oh, Slim Shady Kane's coming through with another $2 super chat. Hey, Pete, how about those Michigan Wolverines? Yeah, how about them? Maybe now the rest of the world will catch up with what I've been telling them for the past 2 years and stop giving these people credit for absolutely doing nothing. But thank you, sir. Pete's new graphics are sick. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like them too. Richard Beach says Georgia overlooked Notre Dame. They're worried about the big Tennessee game. Is that who Georgia plays next week? Jimmy C in the house. If Notre Dame scores a field goal and UGA scores 2 touchdowns, then my 27-13 prediction will be correct. Oh, that's a lot that has to happen. Yeah, Notre Dame's shooting himself in the foot. All right, 2nd and 9 from throwing it deep, and it's caught. Big time passing play from Fromm. That was a great catch, actually. Fromm, 1st and 10, throws another one. Another acrobatic catch there for another first down. There's a flag on the play, of course. Why wouldn't there be? All right, so it's against Georgia. I don't even know what he said. Illegal something. Illegal touching. Illegal touching. That sounds dirty. So that's a big penalty, actually, for Georgia because they were just about to score a touchdown. Or it looked that way. Anyway, 1st and 15. Let's see what the penalty is here on the replay. Where's the illegal touching? What kind of penalty is that? Illegal touching. So Gary's dumbass says it's a good call. Everything Gary says is definitely 100% true. We all know that. Yeah, I don't even know what that is. All right, here we go. 1st and 15 from the, what is it, 23. And he's going to run it up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles. Picks up about 5 yards. He's 2nd and 7 or so. Notre Dame's defense just they look like they're getting tired now. And that's what happens whenever you get a run game like Georgia has. Wears the defense out late in the game. Second and 7. Fromm back to pass. Throws it in the end zone. And that was almost intercepted. As a matter of fact, the Georgia wide receiver had to play defender on that because he had a better line on the ball than the Georgia guy did. I'm surprised they didn't call offensive pass interference on this. Watch this. The Notre Dame guy's playing the ball, and yeah, I don't know. I guess there's no flag there, but there definitely wasn't an interference on the Notre Dame guy. He's playing the ball. Good no call. Third and 7. All out blitz. Back shoulder throw. He's out of bounds. They're calling a touchdown. I thought he landed out of bounds. Flag on the play. What did they do? Click the flag? Is there a flag or not? They just flashed flag on the screen and then they took it away. Oh yeah, I think that's a touchdown. His foot was definitely in. That was a hell of a catch. So what was the flag for? What? Am I hallucinating? Did anybody else see the flag that was thrown? Was there no flag or a flag? What was that about? Look at this guy on the screen. He's just. It's definitely a touchdown, but what's the flag for it? Okay. I guess they throw flags now to review touchdowns. Whoa. Good. I'm still. Somebody saw it. There was a flag thrown for sure. Illegal touching. These guys are just throwing flags on every play and then we'll just throw a flag and sort this shit out later, fellas. How about that? Every play, just throw a flag and we'll sort it out later. If there's nothing going on, just pick the son of a bitch up. Who cares? That's the way they do it now. All right, so 20-10. And this game is quickly getting away from Notre Dame. There's still plenty of time left, but the momentum is definitely in Georgia's favor. No doubt about that. Notre Dame's defense looks tired. And Georgia's offense is, quite frankly, just looking really good right now. They're doing what they do best, running the football, and then using that to open up the pass game, which is what they should have been doing in the first half. For some reason, they came out in the first half and started to act like they were, Kyler Murray in Oklahoma from last year and trying to throw the ball over the yard. Southern humidity getting to the Irish? I don't know about that. 16-point spread. It depends on when you bet it. It started out at 14, like back early in the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, it was 14. This afternoon when I checked it, it was 15.5. It might have finished at 16. I don't know. Slim Shady Canes coming through with another $2 super chat. Cager couldn't make them catches in Miami until what the F? Is he a Miami transfer? Cager? I didn't know that. That was a hell of a catch, though. Illegal walking, 15-yard penalty. Yeah, that's about right. Illegal touching is what Gary Sandusky did at Penn State. That's a different kind of illegal touching, sir. I should read these before I say them out loud. It's my problem. If I went out of bounds and then came back in to catch it, it would be called for illegal touching. Okay. That's not what happened, though, on that play, though. Nobody went out of bounds and came back in to catch it on the one they called that penalty on. All right, so here we go. 13 minutes and 19 seconds left in this game. Can Notre Dame make this interesting? We will find out. It went up to 16. Also, it matters on which outlets you look, which sports book you're looking at. Some of them are off by half a point or a point, different from each other. But anyway, yeah, 15 and a half, 16, whatever. Uh-oh, look, Brian Kelly's about to punch this ref in the face. I would love to see him do that. Just for the entertainment factor. What just happened again? This is one of the weirdest games as far as keeping up with the penalties. I have no idea what the hell's going on. All I see is after every play, Brian Kelly's in the face of some ref yelling at him. No idea why. 1st and 10. No, I don't either. Nato. From the 25. Pitch, and Georgia blitzes, and he goes absolutely nowhere. He might have even lost a yard. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 10 or 11 for the Irish. Book back to pass. Over the middle to the tight end. That's what's been working for him all game. And he picks up about 9. It's going to be 3rd and 1. I just saw it flash across the screen. It looks like Texas is winning by a couple of touchdowns now. So if that holds true, if Texas ends up winning by more than 5, hold on, 3rd and 2. And they're going to hand the ball off, and he's going to get a first down, I think. I don't know. I think he got it. Forward progress. And there's a Notre Dame player down. I think he got first down there. They're going to have to bring out, watch, they're going to have to come out and measure this one. But if Texas ends up winning this game by, finishing this game out, then I will be 4-2 on my bet now picks this week. Pretty good. I won the Ohio State one. I won Syracuse. I won Wisconsin. And if Texas wins, I win Texas. The only ones I lost were Kentucky and the crappy Gamecocks. 1st and 10. From the 35. Book. 2 fakes. Throws it to a wide open receiver. Crosses the 50. Goes out of bounds at the 45. He was wide open. Is Oklahoma legit? Yes, yeah, they're definitely legit. All right, 1st and 10 from the 45 in Bulldog territory. Book. It's a flea flicker. And Book throws it. What was that? That was the worst flea flicker I've ever seen. Interception. Did he really... Hey, that's all on Ian Book right there. He should have not thrown that ball. Why would you throw that ball to a guy who's clearly covered? I mean, and he's even, look at him. He sees he's covered. Are they going to review this or what? Did he get that in bounds? I guess he did. Dude, you cannot throw that ball. Calm down, Richard. You're going to end up hurting yourself, sir. Ian Book can't read coverage even though his name is Book. SEC football rearing its head. Well, I don't know. All I heard coming into today was that that Notre Dame sucked. Georgia's the best team in the country, and they're going to win by 40 points. That hasn't happened. So, wait, breaking news: Michigan still sucks. I'm glad you brought me that news. Breaking news: Michigan will continue to suck as long as Jim Harbaugh is there, and probably for at least a few years after that by whoever comes in to clean up his mess. $175,000 with a touchdown. Sir, just be a nice friend. You know, since me and you are such great friends and all, and send me 5,000 if you win 175,000, just to be nice. Because I'm your good luck charm. You've been on the stream here. You wouldn't have won that without me. Only nice to send me about $5,000 of that as a token of your appreciation, and I would appreciate it. Breaking Slim Shady Kane says breaking news: Miami sucks. Yeah, so the national championship that Georgia won, right, in '81, or the 80 season or whatever it was, they that was against Notre Dame, wasn't it? Call confirmed. Georgia interception. That was such a bad decision. You cannot do that, dude. Throw it away. All he had to do was throw it away. Trying to do too much. All right, so there's still 11 minutes left in this game. It's far from over. But that was a big buzzkill for Notre Dame. They were moving the ball. Anyway, they give the ball to Swift, and Swift is off to the races and just mauling people. First and 10, Dogs. Picked up about 18 yards on the play there. He's just... Yes, I think she is. Mrs. Peete, I think she is asleep. First and 10. From the 48. Hand the ball off to Swift, and he's finally taken down. He picks up about a yard. Every time they give him the ball, I expect him to get a big run. So when he gets down, when he only gets 2 yards, it's like it's almost like losing yardage for him. He looks really good. Second and 8. Fromm back to pass. Throws it over the middle, wide open. What is this soft coverage that Notre Dame is playing all of a sudden? Like, why would you not play Georgia man-to-man? Look at this. Look at this coverage they're playing. Slim Shady Kane's coming through with another $5 super chat. Georgia wouldn't look so hot if refs would call the targeting on these running backs for leading with the helmet. Yeah, I did see that. Swift did do that. Thank you, sir. And they're going to hand it off to, who was that? I don't know. Anyway, he gets taken down for a loss of a yard. Second and 10. Yeah, I'm going to have to buy Slim Shady a beer. It's coming through tonight. All right. So we're inside of 8.5 minutes here. 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Hands the ball off to Swift. Swift gets hit, and he's taken down for a yard loss. Great defensive play there. Well, at this point, this is kind of a long field goal, but I think it's still within Blankenship's range. But you really, if you're Notre Dame, if you want to have even a chance in hell right now, you've got to make a stop right here. Fromm back to pass. He's under pressure, steps up in the pocket. He's running for it himself. And I don't know if he's going to get it or not. I think he's short. They're going to give him the first down. I think he was short, but anyway, it was close. I don't know about that. That was a tough run, though. I'll give him that much. That's close, though. They gave him the first down. I'm surprised they gave him the first down there. I thought he was like just short. Are they going to look at it? Yeah, they're going to look at it. Of course they are. I don't really think that I don't think he got it, but I don't think they're going to overturn it. It's way too close to overturn it. They almost never overturn stuff unless it's very, very obvious. I don't know, man. That's really close. I don't know. He might have got it. It's so close they're going to give it to him anyway because they already called it that way on the field. Yeah. Well, to all the Georgia fans that want Clemson, trust me, they don't. No offense to Notre Dame fans, but Clemson's not Notre Dame. A Michelob Ultra, no problem. Hell, I'll get you a whole 6-pack, sir. Hell, I'll get you a 12-pack and we'll drink it together. Oh, they did overturn it. They said he was short. I can't believe that. They almost never overturn that. Wow, I can't believe that they overturned that. I didn't think there was any way they would do that. Some of you guys are drinking more than me tonight with some of the stuff I'm reading in here. You guys are either massively trolling or completely out of your minds. All right, so this is a 43-yard field goal attempt. And the kick is up, and of course it's good. Big time field goal there. So that makes it 23-10. And there is just inside of 7 minutes left in this game. Aaron Short wants us to compare Clemson's resume to Alabama's for the past 100 years. Sir, were you alive 100 years ago? I mean, how many fake national championships do you guys have to claim before people stop giving a shit about the last 100 years? Because I promise you one thing. I don't. One thing I do care about is last year. And what happened last year? You got ran off the field by Clemson, sir. I know that really hurts your feelings, but it's time for you to dry your tears and maybe come back and try to do something about it instead of going on YouTube and crying and whining about the past 100 years before you're even alive. You're welcome. What is that, 23 to 10? People are definitely drunk in here. What's the score of that game right now? Oklahoma State and Texas. Arkansas is losing. Yeah, well, Peete is getting triggered. Am I? You have never seen me get triggered. All right, here we go. So we need a minor miracle here for Notre Dame to have a prayer. So basically, what we need now. Oh, Texas just scored a touchdown, huh? 36-23. What we need here, if you're a Notre Dame fan, is to somehow get a touchdown, then have enough time on the clock to kick it off and have a 3-and-out with Georgia and get the ball back and score another touchdown. Ian Book back to pass complete, and he drops it, of course. And I think he might be hurt, and he just slammed his own head on the ground in frustration. That is not going to help your future CTE, sir. This guy slams his own head into the ground. Wow. That's not very smart. Second and 10. Book back to pass. He steps up and he runs. And then he passes. And it's complete to the same guy who just slammed his head into the ground. And it's going to be 3rd and 1. Since these guys don't have names on the back of their jerseys, I just have to call them by stupid things they did earlier in the game. So for the rest of the game, number 84 will be called the guy who slammed his head in the ground. 3rd and 1. I mean, listen, you're in 4 down territory. That's all there is to that. And complete to number 83. 1st down. Call him headbanger. All right, that's what I'll do. And Book back to pass. He's got all day. He's got like 10 seconds. And he's running, and he picks up about 8 yards. I've never seen anybody have that much time in the pocket. Guys back there baking cakes and everything else. All right, 2nd and 2. And Book rolls out to the right, throws it. Another. This guy should not be throwing on the run. Flag on the play. The spread. Christian Ballard keep hitting the sauce. 62-14. Oh my God. I swear you were saying the same exact thing last year. Same crazy numbers too. And there's a flag against, of course, Notre Dame. Again, that is the at least 12th penalty they've had on them in this game. Texas got the onside kick up by 6 with a minute left. Minute 30 left. Good. I'm looking good because I got them at -5. Worst big game coach, Kelly or Harbaugh? I don't know. They're about the same. I mean, flip a coin. Flip a coin. They're both terrible. I mean, their records are anyway. 3rd and 7. Book back to pass. He's pressured. Steps up. He's going to run for it again. He's not going to make it. Oh, he did make it. He did make it. I thought the guy was going to tackle him. First down. That was a huge play. They're taking too much time to move the ball, though. We're right at about 5 minutes here, and they're down 13 points. They're going to get to a point where, because they only got one timeout left, if they do end up getting a touchdown, the clock's still running, they're going to have to do an onside kick because they use all their timeouts. Book throws it deep. Wide open, complete at the 30-yard line, all the way down to the 20, and they're still fighting, trying to strip the ball, and they call the play dead. He's all the way down to, let's see where they spot it, around the 18-yard line. That's the tight end play. Hey, it's headbanger. Hell, this guy banged his head into the ground and knocked some sense into himself. Now he's the only player on the team that knows how to catch the football. 1st and 10 from the 18. Book throws it in the end zone. What the fuck was that? Is every throw that he makes a lob pass? Does this guy have any zip on the ball? Everything he throws is a lob. Personal foul against Notre Dame. Yeah, he's the best player on the offense. So today he is number 84 for Notre Dame. He's got to have 150 yards tonight. So 1st and 25. And complete to number 10. He picks up about 10. Or 9, something like that. The clock is running here. So 2nd and 19. And the clock continues to run inside of 4 minutes. Notre Dame's only got one timeout. There's got to be some sense of urgency here. They're taking way too much time. $36-30. Good. I won my bet then. Oh, hell of a catch. They say he got it. All the way down at the 5-yard line. They say he got it. Let's see the replay here. Oh, I don't think he got it. No, his butt landed out of bounds. His feet weren't on the ground when he caught it. Yeah, you better hurry up and snap it. See, if Notre Dame was worth the shit, they would have snapped the ball before they could replay it. Yeah, I had Texas -5, so I won that. So I was 4-2 in my bets this week, which is pretty good. So that puts me at 14-8 on the season so far in my picks against the spread. Prince, I think they do. I actually think they do, yeah. I was looking at the stuff that you can actually bet on, other than football. It's amazing. You can bet on politics. You can bet on who's going to win elections. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think they have NASCAR on there. I think I did see that. Yeah. I didn't even read the rest of your comment. I just saw that it was a joke now. Do I like NBA or college basketball? Yes. I like college basketball more than I like the NBA, but I'm not a huge basketball fan. I was when I was younger. When I was a teenager, I loved basketball. They call that a complete pass? This is crazy. I thought they were going to overturn that. Anyway, so it's 1st and goal now. This is interesting. So let me ask you this: well, never mind. All right, so the clock is ticking. All right, 1st and goal. Touchdown, Notre Dame. All right, so that's going to make it 23-17. There's a with the extra point. It's going to be a 6-point lead here. With 3 minutes and 12 seconds left here, and who's the guy that had money is for Georgia covering the 14? Oh, he's probably just jumped out of a window. I hope that guy's all right. He said he's going to win 175 grand. This guy's probably about to hang himself. Sir, don't hurt yourself. If you're listening, put away all the sharp objects. Call somebody who loves you and have them come over and make sure you don't do anything to hurt yourself. Anyway, hold on. The extra point is up and it's good. So it's 23-17. Now, what do you do here? If you've only got one timeout, you've got to kick an onside kick, right? A flag on the extra point. Let me guess. This is against Notre Dame. Again. Oh, it's offsides. All right, so they're going to decline it. All right. So you got to kick an onside kick right here, right? You got to. This has turned out to be a really good game. It's a crying shame for anybody who bet the money line bet on Georgia, though. Nebraska's winning 42-38 now. I like that game turned around, didn't it? What's up, Stephen Marks? Yeah, it's got to be an onside kick. You can't even because one first down ends the game with only one timeout. Very similar to 2017. I'm more convinced. Yeah, that's the thing. It's not really Brian Kelly's fault that he burned those timeouts. It was the team's fault. They kept. He was trying to save them from getting delay of game penalties. So let's assume that they attempt an onside kick here and don't get it. Then their only hope is to get a 3 and out and use one of their timeouts to have any time left. If there's a first down, it's over. So that's what we're looking at here. Well, yeah, we assume they don't get it because if they do get it, we don't have to make that assumption. Then they clearly have the ball back and have a chance to score. Yeah, if they had 3 timeouts, I wouldn't kick the onside kick either, but they don't. What the hell did they just do? They just kicked it out. They didn't do an onside kick. What is going on? Why would they not kick an onside kick right there? See, Notre Dame deserves to lose this football game now. Why would you do that? That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You may as well try because a first down ends the game anyway, whether it's back in the 10-yard line or on the 40-yard line, you dumb-ass idiot. I'd fire him just for that. You're fired. What did they do with Lane Kiffin? Fired him on the tarmac? I called Brian Kelly on the sideline as soon as the clock hit 0 and say, hey, don't even bother coming back to South Bend. You're fired for being an idiot. That is the dumbest decision I've ever seen in football. Even dumber than Kirby Smart's 4th and 11 fake field goal punt, whatever the hell it was last year. Jesus Christ. I'll explain why it was stupid in a second. All right, so 2nd and 14, they stopped them. It's going to be 3rd and long because it doesn't matter if you don't get the onside. If you get the onside kick, then you've got 3 minutes to get a touchdown to take the lead. If you don't get the onside kick, you're not losing anything as opposed to kicking it off because either way, a first down ends the game. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter whether it's on the 10-yard line or the 40-yard line where that first down happens, it ends the game. So what's the advantage of not at least trying to get the onside kick? Even if they didn't get the onside kick, they could still get the 3 and out and get the ball back, though. Anyway. I don't know. What was the dumber kickoff or Pete Carroll throwing in Super Bowl 49? If Georgia scores, it doesn't matter either way. The game's over. What's your point? I mean, this doesn't seem like that hard of a thing to figure out to me. But whatever. It is what it is. Here we go. 3rd and 14. Oh, good defensive play. So, flag. I give up. Who's this against? Oh. 12th penalty tonight. Bro. Uh, 2 minutes and 15 seconds left. 3rd and 9. Fumbled. Picks it up and throws it. And complete. Holy crap. All right, so that ended up working out because they got the 3 and out. I still contend they would have a better chance by trying to kick the onside kick. But it's not going to matter out. Yeah, there was no pass interference there, I don't think. I didn't say anything. So the punt is up, and it's a bad punt. It goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. He muffed the punt. Oh, man. At the 48. Oh, dude. Dude. Wow. That was terrible. All right, so here we go. There's exactly 2 minutes on the dot left. And Notre Dame's got the ball in great position at the 48-yard line. Georgia has all of their timeouts. Notre Dame has no timeouts left. So this is a very... you got to be smart with what you do with only 2 minutes left. Book rolls out to the right, throws it complete, but he comes down inbounds, and he looks like he's shooken up a little bit. Clock continues to run. And this has been the problem all night for Notre Dame, is not being able to... All right, here we go. 1 minute and 40 seconds left. 2nd and 7. First down, Notre Dame, all the way to the 40-yard line of Georgia. And he gets out of bounds. It's stopped the clock. Wow. First and 10. Now, I still say I would have tried to kick the onside kick. Yes, it worked out in this scenario. But whatever, it doesn't matter now. It is what it is. They did what they did. Second and 10 from the 40. Oh, what was that? Why do you do that? So now it's 3rd and 9. That was the stupidest play call. The clock is running. 1 minute 10 and running. Book rolls out to his right. Incomplete. Here it is right here. 4th down. This is the game. 58 seconds left. What just happened? Oh, timeout, Georgia. Well, at least we got a good game, guys. No matter what happens here, at least this wasn't a blowout either way, like we thought. Like most people thought it was going to be. Yes, that's a good point. Complete control. This is definitely Notre Dame's playoff spot on the line. I don't see how they can lose a game and get in the playoffs without a championship game. J Jobs, I agree. If I were Notre Dame, I would be trying to get it to number 84. And if I was Georgia, I would be all over 84 like white on rice. He just throws up a Hail Mary. This is not going anywhere. And they are not going to call anything, so game over. And it looks as if the Notre Dame fans and players are all pissed that there was no flag. Oh. Georgia hangs on. Yeah, I don't think they should have called any interference there. That was a fair call. So they're going to kneel it down. The game's over. Georgia obviously did not cover even close to be covering. So a lot of people lost a lot of money because all the money went on Georgia in this game. Thank God I did not do that. So let's just do a recap of today. What did we learn today? We learned that Ohio State is really good. We learned that Michigan is what I've known that they are for the past several years, is massively overrated and overhyped. We learned that South Carolina is still terrible. Nothing's changed for the past 100 years. And we learned that Georgia, although they won a big game, really didn't look sharp for about half of the game. Spread was too high. That's a good way to put it. And we also learned that everybody in this chat tonight is amazing and fantastic. We learned that I'm 4-2 in my Bet Now picks this week, which is really good. Yes, good point. We learned that UCF actually cannot run through an ACC schedule and win every game like they said that they could. What else did we learn? Somebody else give me something else that we learned here. Texas is legit. We learned that Clemson and Alabama number 5 is almost inevitable. But we learned that too. Wild Food says that we learned that Auburn is for real. Thank you, J Jobs. I appreciate it, sir. And we'll see you again next week, man. I'll do another one of these weeks every weekend. Slim Shady Canes with a $2 super chat over and Uncle Lou broke $100 worth of his stuff. I'm going to go under. And just mainly because I think probably he's already broken everything that's valuable. Christian Ballard says that we learned that Peete is the best YouTuber. Well, yes, we did. We've learned that a while ago. But thank you, sir. I appreciate it. We learned that A&M is out of playoff contention. Well, Coulter, I believe we learned that already before today, really. But yeah, it was definitely cemented today. We learned the Pac-12 is dead. Yes, we did learn that as well. We learned more today than some people learn in their entire college career. Aaron Short says we learned it won't be so hard for Bama to beat Georgia. A great point. We learned that Georgia should respect the 30-3 game we put on Notre Dame in a neutral site. That's a very solid point. We learned that Arkansas sucks like Tennessee. Well, we didn't just learn that. We've known that. We learned that everybody in the ACC sucks besides Clemson. Yeah, well, I think we already knew that too. At least we've known that for probably a week or two. At minimum. Some people say they've known that for longer, but Kirby says you got to get rid of the backup quarterback to beat Alabama. We learned that Oklahoma State isn't a dark horse. I never thought they were to begin with. We learned that Pittsburgh should have the new fake championship trophy. As a matter of fact, I'm going to start a petition online on Facebook and Twitter that demands that UCF take their fake plastic national championship trophy out of their trophy case and go ahead and UPS that son of a bitch right up to Pittsburgh and let them have it. It's only right. We learned that Clemson should be an SEC team. Well, that's a matter of opinion. We need to hear from UCF fans. No, you won't hear from UCF fans. As a matter of fact, that's probably the best thing that come out of the day is that finally a lot of these UCF fans will just go away for the rest of the season. We can finally get some peace and quiet. And no disrespect to them, they have a really good team, but these guys starting thinking that they're Alabama and Clemson and Ohio. They're out of their minds. They got humbled today. DF Sports says that both teams suck and they won't make the playoffs. I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. Well, Notre Dame's chance of making the playoffs just went down by 95% or so. So you're probably right about that. All right. I guess that's it for me tonight, guys, because I am exhausted. I want to thank all of you for stopping in. I want to thank for everybody who commented, watched, hit the like button, shared the stream. Check out howardsrock.net, especially if you're a Clemson fan or maybe if you're just a Pigskin Pete fan. Check out betnow.eu. Use that link if you want to bet. And, of course, use the promo code Pete. Thanks to Slim Shady Canes. Let me count the amount of super chats he sent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 super chats. That is a new world record here on the Pigskin Pete YouTube channel. The same person sent 5 super chats, so thank you. I can't thank you enough for that. And definitely, I owe you a 12-pack at some point, sir. We'll drink it together. All right, guys. Yeah, that's it from me. And I'll see you guys soon, very soon, like always. Thanks, everybody, stopping in. Pigskin Pete's checking out.